I shall roll the dice of doom. Okay. Oh, this is quite ironic. Dave, would you take us in, please? I probably would have done that anyway, but no, it was the dice to decide it.
You with your mouth full.
Previously, on Dark Heresy.
Very good. Very good.
That's one of the island locals.
Very good. Okay. So, after splitting up the loot, the acolytes headed back into the darkness of the mines, but not before Kyoshi took a strip of fabric from the mutant champion, which he had doused in its blood. A singular mutant, hidden behind a rock, tried to ambush Sister Clematis, but met a swift end. More mutants were found guarding a sturdy iron door. Courtney regained her vavavoom and staved in the head of a mutant, using the butt of her newly looted autogun. The door was locked but yielded to the key that was looted prior from the mutant champion. Within, they found another locked door and opted not to use their explosives to break in, instead pressing deeper into the caves in search of another key. The heat and smell of sulfur grew stronger and stronger as they entered a massive cavern. The acolytes found huge roots growing through the walls, a gigantic chasm, and massive claw marks across the floor. The acolytes progressed more slowly now. Heavy breathing could be heard, as if from many mouths at once. The breathing of a large mammal, perhaps. The echoes in the cavern played tricks with the mind. The air grew greasy and heavy and hot. From the other side of the chasm, a man dressed in immaculate black robes decried the group as invaders and unfaithful, who desecrated this holy land with their presence. At his side was an enforcer in full composite armor, and armed with a shotgun. Armed with an autogun, along with another of the wretched mutant miners. Kyoshi leapt the chasm with graceful ease and assaulted the mutant, dealing a wicked blow with his katana. The overseer, invoking forbidden warpcraft, summoned a bolt of dark energy. It fired off towards Kyoshi like a homing missile. Kyoshi managed to dodge this bolt, which thudded into the chasm wall. The enforcer fired off round after round of full automatic from his autogun, but couldn't seem to land a shot. Zanfei landed a bolt round on the enforcer and sent him staggering back. Nixius drew aim with his Xenos needle rifle. Hello? Sorry?
Oh, sorry. Not my last past me.
Oh, no,
Iron things. Carry on.
No, Nixios drew aim with his Xenos needle rifle and traced a perfect shot to the overseer. The needle rifle racked wicked damage upon him, but it was the toxin that sentenced him to death. Courtney charged up towards the enforcer, who had emptied his entire clip to no avail. She drove her monoaxe into his leg, causing a fatal amount of blood loss. Clematis wandered over to an unexplored region of the cavern. Her torch caught a glimpse of an abomination waiting for her. It was the Mother, a huge malignant force with a dozen mouths, no eyes, and writhing flesh.
I think that's a mother, to be honest.
Yeah.
Clematis backed away in fear, her torch extinguished.
I don't remember my mother being like that. So.
Well, it's definitely someone's mother.
Yeah.
Mother was a terrible foe, flaying the minds of the acolytes and swiping at them with trunk-like tendrils. Nixius fired round after round from the Xenos rifle into the many maws of Mother, shattering her teeth and causing her to scream in agony. The toxins wrought terrible damage upon her. Clematis fired a brilliant last shot, causing severe damage, and Kyoshi leapt back across the chasm and hacked into the creature. lopping off a tendril from the beast. But the battle started to turn. Xanthé went quite mad as the abomination bore down upon her and flayed her mind. She lost her grip upon reality and started to laugh hysterically. Turned her bolt pistol upon her allies, seeking to end the life of the adept Nixius. Kyoshi, remembering his orders from Lucius, disengaged and moved to protect the adept. As he broke away from Mother, she wounded him with a tendril lash. Kyoshi moved up to Xanthé and tried a takedown maneuver. Xanthé reacted with fevered strength. She fought off Kyoshi with ease and shoved him to the ground instead. She turned her bolt pistol on the prone Peruvian and went to deliver the coup de grace. Time seemed to slow as the bolt shell fired. The muzzle flashed, blinding. The shot looked sure to blow Kyoshi's arm clean off and doom him to a cripple's death. But by some twist of fate, Kyoshi turned just enough, and the bolt shell impacted into the stone floor and embedded itself. The detonation caused no more than a pretty crater. Xanthé pulled the trigger over and over, but the bolt pistol had run dry. Meanwhile, Courtney looted the bodies of the fallen on the other side of the chasm.
We're doing some serious looting that night.
I know.
Mother then turned her attention to Solicitor Clematis, while Nixios fired his last devastating shot and tried to reload his needle rifle in time. A brutal mental assault on the cleric's mind sent her blind, and a tendril strike to the skull nearly knocked her unconscious. Clematis lay about with her meat cleaver, but she could barely stand, let alone fight. She was riven with fear, blinded, fatigued, grievously wounded, but lucky to be alive. Yoshi struck the final blow. He drove his katana, Kazushini, through the mouth of the malignant abomination and into her core. The blade struck something solid inside, something impassable. With ichor dripping from her many wounds, Mother sank to one knee, then another, and finally, mercifully, toppled, shaking the cavern with the weight of her collapse. Her twisted flesh melted and slothed away, turning to black ooze that seeped away into the chasm, seemingly alive. At the centre of where her body lay was a large pearl, larger than a man's head. Battered, wounded, and driven to the edge of insanity, the acolytes had endured. Okay,
Yay.
so I'm going to put you on
Nicely read,
to...
Alan. Nicely read.
Cheers,
Yeah.
buddy. Cheers, buddy. I'm going to put you onto the map now, where we left off. And this is where we shall start up. So, let me just get up the sheet. Okay, so exhausted, wounded and embattled, you slump to the ground, you catch your breath. The flesh of Mother turned to black liquid and flowing away down the chasm with a life of its own. Xanthé lies on the floor in a fetal position, weeping and crying. Her hands claw at her scalp and temples, and she claws chunks of hair from her head. Her bolt pistol lies on the floor, empty and discarded. Sister Clematis is heavily wounded, having taken wounds both physical and mental from the malignant intelligence known as Mother, but she has regained her sight, but she still feels quite exhausted following the combat. Kiyoshi is heavily wounded also, but he cannot shake off the feeling that the Emperor has protected him. He knows that he should have died in the combat with Xanthé, but that fate had spared him. This brush with death has left him feeling invincible, unstoppable. He has tore a bloody path through these mutants and laid a death blow upon their mother, the abomination. Nixius has evaded damage for the most part. He feels fortunate to have taken a round from Xanthe's bolt pistol, but only taken a glancing blow. He feels a sense of pride, knowing that his forbidden Xenos rifle had turned the tide in the combat. And Courtney stands on the other side of the cavern, having stripped down the bodies of the Overseer and his Enforcer bodyguard.
Back in black, baby.
She's feeling full of energy, having avoided the attentions of Mother completely. So, yeah. We're going to move out
You don't
of...
want to be messing with that stuff, man. That's your driving mad.
We're going to move out of initiative order now. And we're just
Can
going to
I
go
jump in
into,
then?
like... Yeah. So now anyone can jump in at any time. There's no
Right,
initiative
I'm
order.
gonna
You're out
pull
of
over
combat.
to Xanthi and go and slap her around the face.
You move over to her and you slap her. She's lying on the ground, so you drag her up.
Yeah, and then
you
slap her.
you slap her around the face.
Go,
She
sick out of it.
she doesn't resist. There are tears streaming down her face. She whimpers as you strike her. Are you pulling your blow or are you doing a proper attack?
Pulling it, but I'm just giving her sort of like a sharp smack to reality.
Okay, you give her a few sharp slaps and you can perhaps see there's a little bit of focus in her eyes, where before she was just staring blankly, staring at something that the rest of you cannot see.
For Emperor's sake, get yourself together, woman. Do not show us up. We are higher than this. Pull yourself together.
I'm going to. Oh. Johnny just beeped and vanished.
It's okay. It was just a call. I don't really want.
I'm going to. Kiyoshi's going to spin round to face Xanthi, the point of Kazushini hovering right near her neck, and say, "First, you question my loyalty. I offer you an apology for my rudeness, which you brushed away without a thought, and then you try and kill first Nixios and myself. Give me one good reason I should not take your head and add your name to my tally."
Wait.
She looks at you and there's
Stricken with fear. Yes,
Do you want to move your mic
right,
a little closer, buddy? I didn't catch that.
Sorry, I was trying to stick up for her. I'm saying, wait a second. She was stricken with fear. She had gone mad. Do not do it.
She looks up at you, Kyoshi, and you just see beneath her eye it twitches again and again. She looks like she's trying to form words, but she doesn't say anything. Her lips move, but no words come.
With a Kyoshi's going to flick the ichor of Mother off his blade and just fucking walk away.
Okay.
I'm gonna support Xanthi to her feet.
Okay, you bring her up.
Sure
Okay. You bring her up to her feet, and she doesn't resist.
walking.
And you start to walk her around, you start to move her, and she walks with you. She doesn't resist, but there still seems to be something missing from her. She's still far from her normal self.
Does anybody have a stim for this lady?
I'm not sure a stim will help. It appears that she suffered a serious nervous breakdown.
Hey, you do know that she has some medicines in her gauntlet, but you're not quite sure how you would use them to administer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. She might break my arm. I'm only she's a trained warrior of the cloth.
I reach into a pouch, draw a stim, and just throw it on the ground in between Xanthi and Clematis.
Okay. Do you see this, Clematis?
Carry on walking.
Clematis bends over and shoots herself with a stim.
Okay. Okay, so that removes all your fatigue. You're no longer at -10 for your test, and you feel back in. You feel a lot better.
That's
for
better.
the,
I carry her much more efficiently now. Come on, let's go.
Oh dear, very good. Okay. So you all feel that the heat in the cavern seems to be lessening, and the smell of sulfur seems to be dissipating somewhat.
I thank goodness for that.
I'm going to head over to the chasm.
Okay.
I'm going to draw another one of my wooden torches I'm gonna.
I'll
Well,
try-
I'm gonna
I'll
pick
turn
up
you-
the.
Go on.
Has anybody picked up the pearl yet?
No.
Well,
I'm gonna-
so it will be then.
Okay. Ixos, you pick up the pearl. And when you look at it, you can't help. Well, make an intelligence test, please. At plus 30.
Oh, right, 1 sec. I'm going to have to log in.
Are you? You're not in roll 20, buddy.
I'm loading in.
Okay, yeah. So, do you need me to turn your lighting back on, Kyoshi? Were you saying you're lighting the
Yeah.
torch back up? Have you?
I'm picking my torch back up, taking another one out, lighting that, and then chucking the first one down the chasm and peering over the chasm to see if I can see anything as it falls.
Yeah, it falls and it falls, and it seems to go on forever. And the chasm seems impossibly deep.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just going to turn your lighting on. Sister Clematis, you can relight your torch as well. I shall do so.
Holy fire.
Okay,
Blessed,
and
blessed lighter.
okay, so hopefully you and Kyoshi will be able to see again now.
While I'm
Yes.
waiting, I'm going to reload with a hot shot power pack.
Okay.
Just in case. Yeah.
So is this chasm here that I'm stood by the one that I've just? Is that the one where Mother slithered away to?
Yeah, that's I say like her flesh kind of decomposed into a black liquid, and it seemed drawn to the chasm, and it slipped down there, and there's no sign of anymore. The only thing that remains is the pearl.
What colour is the pearl? Is it just a pearl-coloured pearl, or is it?
Well, you're on the other side of the chasm at the minute, Johnny. So unless you want to rejoin them, you're not even aware that there is a pearl at all. You've
Okay.
been blissfully kind of avoiding most of the danger while you've been looting. Are you putting on the black robes, by the way, Johnny?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, cool. You look quite demonic now. In a sense, you've got these black robes on, and the enforcer helm has a sort of almost like a skull-like appearance, and it is also black. So you look pretty imposing at the moment.
Do I look a
And
bit
so
like
you loot.
I
You
look a bit like
looted.
Kylo Ren.
Sorry, say it again, Johnny.
A little bit like Kylo Ren. Like
Yeah.
that.
No, he said you look scary, not gay as fuck.
Yeah, but like scary.
Yeah.
But like deep. But like.
I don't know, it'd be a lot
Oh,
better if he never
scary.
took off his mask.
Kylo Ren's scary at all. He's got issues.
No offense to the guy who plays him, it's just he hasn't got an evil enough face, does he?
He does have a strange nose, doesn't he?
I
It's,
didn't
it's,
say anything about his
it's,
nose,
it's
man.
an unnatural.
You know, people have all different noses. I
So,
can't
yeah, I
grade a
mean,
man's nose.
Well, you don't get much choice in your nose, do you? But he's got a
But
good
his nose
one,
is double
hasn't
the length of mine.
Probably does.
But
I
it's a
read an
big Japanese.
interesting
That's
concept
63
the
and
other
6
day
horsepower.
that Han Solo actually killed himself with Kylo's lightsaber because Kylo couldn't do it, and in order to become a dark side guy, he had to do it. So Han almost sacrificed himself. But it does. The theory has weight. But anyway.
Fan theories are always bollocks, though. I mean, what happened in the film is what happened in the film, and the fact that it was all shit, and of all the characters to kill, Han.
Yeah. True. You try and make something
Yeah,
better
man.
than it actually was.
Yeah.
To be fair, like the
Well,
best Star
actually,
Wars
he's
get
quite a
away
good
with,
actor.
like all the animated Clone Wars series, they're really good.
Seen the Bad Batch? Have you seen the Bad Batch? That's
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but
I'm all
is
up to date.
It's good.
Uh,
You should
I
watch
thought-
the
We
watch
have
the
Disney
Clone
Plus.
Wars. Like watch the original
Ralph Bakshi.
cartoon Clone Wars. The episodes that are like 5 or 10 minutes long, and there's some really good clone trooper ones. There's one or two that are just silent and they just use hand signals all the way through.
That's a full film. That's a full film of Clone Wars. What you're referring to?
Well, yeah, you can watch it all in one big long thing. Yeah,
it was done as an in between, wasn't it? And it lets you know what.
like
lets you know why General
2.5
Grievous has a breathing problem.
Yeah,
I think all the better stuff is the stuff at the peripherals. Really, the actual main films themselves have left a lot to be desired. But the stuff at the edges.
That was done by the animator of Takanasi Genji or something. The guy what does Samurai Jack animation. That was really good. I really enjoyed the Clone Wars one. And has anybody seen Primal? That's fucking amazing. You should watch it. Anyway, back to the game.
Yeah, I mean, no rush tonight. It's a nice, easy pace tonight. So, Johnny, I just want to tell you a little bit about the gear that you've looted. So you've got an extra suit of Enforcer armor now. You are slightly over your carry limit now. So you've got your carry limit is actually you're coming right up to your carry limit. So who's over? I thought someone was. All right, it's Clematus. You are slightly over your carry limit. You've got a limit of 27, and you're carrying 29.
Oh
so,
no! What are you over with?
What are you over with? Sorry, what was that?
What's making me over?
Well, you've not got a huge carry limit for a start. So the heaviest items you're carrying, your chain coat, is 9 kilograms. Then after that, you've got 2 meat cleavers, which is 4. Then you've got an enforcer chest plate, that's 3. An auto gun is 3.5. So they're the heaviest items
I'll
you're carrying.
go get rid of a. Was it meat cleavers of 4 each?
No, 2 a piece. You've got 2 of them at the moment.
Meat cleaver. Anybody want a meat cleaver? Shout to the group.
Ooh.
And then
it's by carry weight.
I'll carry it for you if you want.
So you're I'll just go through we'll do a tiny bit of inventory.
I'm on my gear at the moment. I'm just trying to look at what else I can.
Courtney's about 2 kilograms off the limit. Kiyoshi, you've got about 10 kilograms carry. Clematus, you're a couple of kilograms over. And Brownie, you've got maybe 11 kilograms.
Can I let someone enforce a chest plate? Can I pass that over to someone?
I'm on 11, do you say?
You've got 11 kilograms spare. You've got a carry limit of 27, and you're currently carrying 16 kilograms. So you've got 11 spare. So, Johnny, so you picked up a suit of armor, and you picked up a black stone pendant.
Yes.
Were you putting that on?
I am.
Okay, so when you put it on, to start with, it doesn't feel anything special. But as the combat rages over, at the other side of the chasm, and when you hear Mother's death scream, you're almost sure that there's a glint in the black stone, and the pendant will grant you +1 to all of your statistics while you're wearing it. And I've added that onto your character sheet already.
Excellent stuff.
Wow.
So, okay, so what would you like to do, guys?
I'd like to pick the pearl up, and I rolled a 23 for my intelligence.
Okay, so you realise you're quite confident that this pearl is probably the most valuable thing that you've ever held in your possession. It is it's certainly more valuable than the highly rare rifle that you carry. You think that it has use is maybe as a trade commodity, or also perhaps as a crafting reagent.
Yeah, marvelous. Right. Well, I'll pop that in the stash.
Okay.
I was honestly thinking, how the fuck are we going to get some more sniper rifle rounds? But maybe we can trade.
I'm going to call out to Courtney across the chasm and say, "Girl, are you okay over there?"
Yes.
That's a very manly woman with a beard.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
And I'm going to. Well, we wait for Hayden. If Hayden wants, I'll take a. Oh, Hayden. if you want to, you only need to drop 2 kilos, don't you? Kiyoshi will carry a meat cleaver for you if you want.
Yeah, do the chest plate and the meat cleaver. That'll be fine.
Okay.
I don't
You're
know
handing
how
over
much.
the chest plate and the meat cleaver. That's 5 in total.
Is it Enforcer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Enforcer chest plate.
Put it on if you want.
It's 4 points of flak armor on the chest.
And I'm just going to have a mooch over here. See what I can find.
Okay, so as you move over into this corner of the chasm, you're still wearing the rebreather, so you don't catch the scent of this corpse that lies in front of you. It looks like roughly half of the corpse has been consumed, and you suspect perhaps by Mother herself. And you also see a clutch of eggs, which the corpse is lying in front of.
Okay.
The eggs are surrounded by like a lichen.
I'm going to call out on the comm and say, there is a body here, and more alarmingly, eggs.
Destroy the eggs for Frode's sake. Oh, sorry. Destroy the eggs for Frode's sake. We cannot let them hatch. Who knows what's going to hatch out of those horrible things? Squish him now.
Unless anyone else is doing anything, I'm quickly going to have a look at this half body and search it, see if I can find out.
Okay, make a search roll, please.
New search roll, my speciality. 6 degrees of failure.
Okay, you think that the corpse has already been looted. That there's nothing of value upon it. It's not wearing any armor. There's only the upper half has some clothing on, and the clothing does seem of better quality than you would expect the miners to wear. But there's nothing of value here.
Okay. And I'm just going to go over to the eggs and just use the torch to try and set them on fire.
Okay, so the eggs don't seem flammable. They don't catch up immediately from the torch. So you just feel like you're warming the egg up with the torch.
Yeah, let's stop doing that.
You might boil them.
Yeah.
Hard
Or
boil.
I might
You know.
rapidly incubate them.
I mean, if you want to destroy them, you've got a variety of means at your disposal.
I
But
have.
the torch
The
is probably
boot.
not the way to do it.
Fucking kick men, old school.
I'm going to place the torch on the ground and take Kazushini in a 2-handed grip and just slice at the first egg.
Okay, you slice in. You don't need to make any rolls for this. You're trying to hack up all the eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. So you work through the eggs in quick succession, and they do not offer any defense. They the armor on there's not armored or anything. They're just eggs, and the shell breaks immediately, and the yolk and the ooze flows out, and you see at the heart of each of the egg what appears to be a little baby mother.
Mm.
So as you go in with a sword, you start to chop these up. You chop a couple of them up, but a couple of them lie on the floor and start to twitch a little bit.
I'm going to definitely spear those bastards.
Okay, so you work your way through all the eggs and you terminate the little baby, whatever
Did Mother
they are.
actually make it to the chasm, or did she dissolve beforehand?
She kind of dissolved when she lied on the floor and turned into black ooze, which slid off into the chasm. Partly by gravity, and partly it seemed like the ooze was almost alive.
Oh dear.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything, or?
I would like to talk to the group about who did we find anything to get through the door. I'm sure someone mentioned a key earlier.
I did.
Are you talking about the comments, or are you talking?
I'm open comms in. I'm open comms in. Did anybody find anything get into that log room? See if we can find our man.
I found it. I don't know what it's for, but I found one.
You've actually found 2 keys, Courtney. One was on the Enforcer and one was on the Overseer. And you are still close to an iron door as well.
Yeah, well, I'm standing next to an iron door here on the other side of the chasm. and I have 2 kids.
Well, shall we come meet at your position and see if we can find our man?
But wasn't there a door back from whence we came?
There
that we
was,
couldn't get through as well?
This one is close.
Okay.
It's just up to the side. You know
We
when
can
you
go
guys
back
went,
that way and check
you guys
it
went
out.
to the left. You guys went to the left. I went to the right. Then there's actually a door behind what was the Psyker, the rogue Psyker, and the Enforcer that seemed to be his bodyguard. So there's something in there. Whatever it is. But I'm going to wait.
Well, do we have anything more? Like, who else needs to heal up before we move on? Do we have any more stims? Any?
I think the only healer in the party, I believe, is Xanthe, and she's in no position to help. And I think most of you have had healing in the last day, apart from Clematis. So the rest of you can't receive healing. I'm not sure how long's the gap in between.
To use do
Heal
some healing
D5.
for myself.
Okay, roll a D5.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, Dave, how long do you have to wait in between kind of medical treatment before you can get it again? You know,
It depends on your level of damage, whether you're light, heavily, or critical. Let me have a look. The way I do it, Al, I do it a little different to the main rule. What I do is, so when you're at full hit points, say for argument's sake you've got 10 hit points and you take 5 wounds, you can then be instantly healed at any time by a med kit. You'd still be classed as light wounded, so you'd be healed up to your full health.
I'd like to use a fate point to. Oh no, fate point for a fate point. 1 wound.
you'd be better off using the fate point for healing than using it for re-rolling, I would think.
Well, I did for the healing, and so I've just got a wound back.
Just 1 wound, okay.
Yeah, I'm not risking it again. That's another fate point. I might need 2.
So yeah, if you're lightly wounded, Al, say you're on 10 wounds to start with, and you take say 4 wounds, you healed in usual manner with first aid, up to potentially your maximum wounds. But if you're not healed up to your maximum, say you're healed up to 8, for argument's sake, that becomes your new maximum hit point threshold. You can't be healed beyond that until a certain amount of time has passed. If you then take more damage from the 8, say you take another 4 wounds, you can be healed again up to a maximum of 8.
Okay.
Because that's your current threshold. However, it varies depending on whether you're light or heavily or critical wounded. Lightly wounded people can be healed every 24 hours. Heavily wounded is after a week. Critical wounded is also after a week, but you heal a lot less.
Okay. So, right, yeah, I'll try and play that going forward with that, but for the time being, I would have needed to make some notes, so we'll just wing it a little bit for the time being. Nixius, when you move over to the section of the chasm, you see on the floor in red chalk a series of symbols interlinking and interlocking. Make an intelligence test. Do you have any forbidden? Have you got any forbidden laws or anything like that? I don't believe you do. Oh, you do. You have forbidden laws, Xenos, common law, Imperium. Okay, I'd like to a straight intelligence test, please. In this case,
We need yarn for this.
Yaman. Wagwan.
Wagwan. Yeah, just a straight intelligence test, please, buddy.
Yeah, failed 4.7.
Okay, so you know you don't make any significance.
Oh,
from the
gobbledygook
symbols.
to me.
But you've got a bad feeling about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So just as unfair as you walking her, Clematis, she seems to be coming round a little bit. Her bolt pistol is still lying on the floor there.
Oh, well, I'll pick that up for her.
Okay.
Before we start walking, and then walk normal. Seems I'm doing natural to pick it up with Xanthi, so 3 squares. Aiming for the other side so we can get down that side where Johnny is.
No worries. You can just move yourself as you please now. We're not in initiative order, so you can just, move as you like.
Walk over
So-
to where Courtney is. Sorry.
Okay, so you go the long way round. You go to the edge of the cavern where the chasm is at its thinnest, so you don't have to jump it or put yourself at any risk. Are you joining them, Nixius? Are you staying here on
I'm
the
going
side?
to try and stub the circle with my boot.
Okay. So it just seems to be chalk, and you break the circle,
Wicked.
but you don't feel any different for doing so.
I'm just going to. I'm going to stay.
Hello? It's like frozen.
I'm gonna sit.
It's got a great. That's a great pose there, isn't it? Okay. Don't know what to do. So on this side of the chasm, you see the corpse of the overseer, been stripped down, and also you see the enforcer has also been stripped down. There's an iron door, which appears to be locked.
I don't know if.
Sorry, Johnny, we lost you there for a minute. Can you just start what you said again? Because I didn't really catch any. What you
It's
said. Can you
okay.
repeat that?
Yeah, I was going to say you sound slightly robotic at points.
Yeah, I think you seem
I
to
don't know
lose
if that's
your
me,
connection.
my connection, or
I think
what's
it might
going
be
on.
yours, mate. Did anyone else have any problems with me?
I'll get Robo while.
Sorry?
Johnny's cutting in and out. a little bit.
Then I did.
No, if nobody else has any problems.
Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Did you say you got Robot Al there, Aiden?
It was only very at the end.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
I'm getting
know when Johnny started to talk as well, so I don't know if sound merged.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't get it any
Okay.
other time, and I'm not getting it now.
I didn't have any problem with you, Al.
Hello, Lizzie. Yeah, she's gone. Strangers in the night, passing beauties on to the light. I see my darling walking down the garden side. I want to fuck her right. Anyway.
A beautiful song, Hayden. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah,
You've missed your calling.
That's it. It's just making it up on the spot.
That's it. Propeller, man.
Liz! No.
Hey. So you're all on this side of the chasm. You all met up. There's an iron locked door. Some corpses which have been looted and stripped. What would you like to do?
My ankle's in a hole in the.
And there you go.
Oh, bless you. It's like, what's it? All-terrain training at the same time. Oh, right. See you in a bit. Bye, I love you. And you all too.
Love you too, Hayden.
Oh, wow. I'm so natural to you, Alan. Rise.
Okay, so like I say, you're all on this side of the chasm. You've you met up. What are you doing?
Looking through the
Yoshi
door.
is silently
Okay.
hoping that somebody has found a key and will open the door.
Yes. Yes, the man painting his sword would be a perfect. Oh, the woman polishing her axe in character. Oh, what?
I've got one. I'll.
It was Dave who said
I'll
it. I was just pointing the person out.
Woo!
Oh, I got chickened.
I'll put that on the bottom of it.
It's quite a harmless chicken on that one. So a nice pommel, Johnny. So Johnny, the rest of the party seems to be looking at you expectantly for some reason, Courtney. You're not quite sure why though.
Johnny,
Johnny, open the fucking door!
Thank you.
Oh,
it looks beautiful, Johnny. Open the door with it.
I'll just take out the.
I think we lost him again.
Yoshi snatches the key off Courtney.
Johnny, you need to come off. Like,
Yeah, we need to get Johnny's connection
Right.
sorted.
he's on his house Wi-Fi. I bet.
Is it? I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll just need to come off that for a second. It'll be all right.
I love it. I love it when the roleplay flows smoothly,
It flows smooth.
like a river of
Johnny,
butter.
are you on the house Wi-Fi? It looks beautiful.
Johnny,
Are you
it's
on
a
the
very
house
nice
Wi-Fi?
pommel, Johnny.
Thank you. I'm just going to see if I'm on house shock out here. No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'll turn my Bluetooth off in case that makes a difference.
Yeah, we just keep losing you, Johnny.
Hang on. I'm going to leave the call and then join it again.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you working on, Brownie?
I'm putting together another Night Terror. This fucker took me ages. Bad bastard. I put the Forgotten Marshal together and now I'm on with Night Terrors and they're a real struggle. Very intricate, lots of pieces. Lots of fucking pieces. One of them's got 23, which is
21 on a small model.
well,
Or is it?
I don't know. It's probably about twice the man size or whatever with his wings and things. Yeah, it's just but it's only a 30cm base. But
23 pieces.
yeah, one had 13, 16, 19, and 23. There's always a couple of bad eggs. So yeah, that one had 13, and that took me ages to be honest. But I was filling all the gaps on it and everything as well. All sorts of mad little gaps on it.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed last night's game, Dave. That was
Yeah, it was
it
good
was
fun.
a nice dynamic. That one. It was.
yeah, it was actually.
It didn't go at all like I was expecting. It was nice to be surprised by it because I often like when I'm plotting what's going to happen, I make little notes about what I think will happen and what will be the potential responses to that, and you completely surprised me there. So yeah, it's good. We'll see what happens in the next game.
I'm pleased with surprise, Dave. I bet it was Alan. Like
you do surprise me. You do surprise me a lot, but it's not normally all of you that surprise me at the same time. It's normally one person here, one person there.
Surprise.
But last night it was all three of you.
Yeah.
See, sometimes we like to fuck with you, Dave, as well.
Yeah. It's only fair.
It's only fair.
And we know that you're going to evoke pages and pages of consequences for like when we do actually do the deed that you expect us to do, and then we don't.
I didn't.
And that makes it more delicious for us.
I didn't really plan much beyond what would happen when you killed him, but I just had a couple of notes about things that might have happened, but they didn't happen. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't have a lot of planning other than that.
Oh,
well, I have got a lot of planning.
Disappointment.
Okay, Courtney, as you stand beside the locked iron door, the rest of the acolytes seem to be looking at you expectantly, but you don't know why.
Can I use my psychic powers to determine why?
Make a perception test, please.
It's like being psychic, just being object. So. Do I get any? Oh yeah, I got.
No. Okay, you've no idea what they want. Who can understand the motivations of these people?
Certainly not me. I'm going to drink my topic recap and be like, "Oh, hello, thank you for joining me over here. I took care of things on this side. You seem to have it sewn up on that side. Whatever it was. Didn't
somehow the recap is still piping hot.
Recap. Oh, it's the dive. It is. Anybody want some?
I'm just going to gesture towards the door with Kazushini and go, Miss Amari, the door, if you please.
About it.
He did say he had a key.
Did he? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah.
I retract the
I
scoring of a
terribly-
chicken. I take it back.
I do apologise, but I had to waste cap to pour it back into my flask and then screw the lid on painfully slow and then tap it on the top and go, saves lives. Put it back in my road.
Okay.
And then take out a key. I've got 2 keys. So I've got
two keys. You have one from the overseer and one from the enforcer bodyguard. Which one are you trying on the door?
Examine those for about.
I'm going to try the one from the enforcer bodyguard. I think that'd be more likely to be an outer than a inner key. The one from the guy wearing the robe, I am a bit more leads a bit more suspicious. That's just my point.
You try the key. Try the key, and it doesn't fit.
I'll try this. Oh,
Okay,
mate, I appear to have used the wrong. It's a wonky key. Wonky key. What a strange phrase. Wonky key. Anybody else think that's strange? And then I'm going to try the other key.
No.
Okay, try the other one, and the door yields to the overseer's key. And
I'm going to try and push it open, and then be like, after you.
Okay, just 1 second. I will. Why can't I do that? Let me just zoom in. Okay, so I'll open the door. So inside you see a small room, quite tidy. There's an ornate rug sitting in the center of the room, and there's a comfortable-looking bed, a chair, a writing table, and a chair. And on the table are stacks of papers and notes.
I'm like, make yourselves at home.
Courtney, can I have another perception test, please, at plus 30?
Good. Generous. She'll probably.
Okay, so
I can't see. What happens if you accidentally press off the sidebar with all your dice rolls?
There's at the right hand side of your screen at the top of the scroll bar, there's like 3 little lines. You should be able to click on that and it'll bring it back.
Yeah.
okay,
No.
so
Press the wrong one.
you found a small study room. It almost feels like, or bedroom / study room.
Okay.
I'm going to go in and start searching his notes.
Okay, so make a move yourself. I'll move you in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in as well and just have a look round.
Okay,
See if there's
search.
anything.
I'd like you to make a search roll, please, Mr. Comatus.
Okay. I fell asleep last night in the garage, and when I woke up, the beer was dripping. I'd knocked the beer over when I fell asleep, and it's gone all over my mouth. It's super sticky today. It still works. And, like, even when I'm using the scroll button, you know, it's still
Sticky mice. Okay, so you search through the papers, and some of the papers, they look difficult to decipher. It looks like they've been written by many different people. Some are written in a language that you don't recognise, and others. Sorry, let me give you my spiel, and then just give us that. So some are written in a language that you recognise. Others appear the scrawling of a madman, and some of the pages are written in neat and flawless cursive of High Gothic, or at least a language derived from High Gothic. Do you speak High Gothic, or are you literate in High Gothic? You do. Okay. Many of the pages are simply one word repeated over and over and over again. James, mother.
Yes.
Mother. Written hundreds.
Just that shit.
Hundreds and thousands of times. And amongst the papers, acclimated, you find something of a journal that has been written by the overseer.
Can I read the journal quick?
Yeah, you can. So again, the writing in the journal, it seems to be written by different people, and sometimes it almost seems like a madman has written it. But in one of the sections towards the end, it seems quite well written and eloquent, and you see that a brief diary has been written by the overseer, and it reads as follows. It says, "So far my plan has gone without fault. It was easy to acquire the role of overseer in Mind 328 Alpha with my previous experience. The weak-minded administrator nearly fell over himself to offer me the role. He was easily susceptible to my words, empowered by the whispers. Nobody wants to work in the cobalt mines. It is an open secret that the toxic gases given off by the ore lower the lifespan of all who work here. The administrator warned me to rule with a firm hand, as the slaves, most of them gifted, were surly and rebellious. Music to my ears, these gifted slaves shall form the backbone of the mother's men. I brought in 2 of my own to serve as enforcers, good men, Craddox and Jensen. Already they preach the words of salvation to the slaves. The slaves are desperate and latch on to anything that gives them a glimmer of hope. Soon our time of ascension is at hand. Mother came to me again in my dreams. She is impatient. She demands I complete the ritual. I tried to tell her that we are not ready yet, that to rush now would be to jeopardize all. She will not listen. Mother hungers. And then a gap. And then it says, the mine is ours. It was almost too easy. The ferocity and the bloodlust of the slave miners was impressive. You would not think them capable before. They seemed broken and weak. The chance of freedom and, dare I say, eternal life has lit a fire in them that will not be extinguished.
Yeah.
Mother's words have moved them. I have sifted those who will make the ultimate commitment to the mother's men from those who merely pay lip service to our God. There will be no more deliveries of food to the mine. We are under siege. We can hold out for perhaps a month on our current stocks. I have kept the unfaithful. They will serve us yet. We have dealt with the first set of invaders, a squad of enforcers. They were too predictable, easy meat for ambush. I led the defense myself. Their armor was no protection to my gifts. We have stripped what weapons and armor that survived. They feed us with their deaths and make us stronger. 2 survived and were captured, and they shall be the first for Mother. The preparations are complete. The ritual shall go as planned. I've checked and thrice checked. There shall be no mistakes. She came from the deep, just as she promised. She is glorious. She is just as beautiful as in my dreams. I have word that the mother's men have taken 3 more mines, and we have seeded 8 more. Her arrival is just the beginning. I fear I am in danger of running out of slaves to feed to her. She hungers so. However, such sacrifices are necessary to ensure that her children come safely into this world. Mother has demanded that I give her Jensen. She tires of the runty slaves with their cobalt-poisoned flesh. I have explained this to Jensen, and he understands. He is a loyal man and brave. And the final line says, yes, Mother has given birth. The first clutch of eggs has come. Jensen will live on through the precious children. And then it tails off to chaotic scribblings again. Okay, so while you're reading the journal, what other people doing?
I'm going to have a look in that there chest.
Okay, I'd like you to make a search roll, please.
Is excuse me, is Sister Clematis reading that out loud or to herself?
I'll read it out loud.
Okay, very good.
A massive fail as usual. I can't even see the chest.
Okay, so open the
thought it was a
chest, you have a look through, and here's what you find.
Okay.
You find wrapped up in a piece of velvet are a set of tools, and they look unmistakably like torture tools. There's a series of knives and hooked implements, and each of them looks solely designed for the purpose of giving pain. So these torture tools will give a +10 to any interrogation roll. You find 20 sheets of best quality parchment. And inside the chest also there is a stub revolver of high quality, fitted with a red dot sight. And that is what you find.
Sorry, Alan.
A red shot sight. No, sorry, a red dot sight on the stub revolver.
Was it red sock? Red sock.
Red shot. The red shot sight.
A
I
pistol
know
with a
what I
red...
said.
Red sock sight.
Okay.
I have the best words.
Well, I'm gonna cram the parchment and tools into my pack for now, and hold the pistol out to the group and say, "Anyone?"
Yes, please.
And I'll hand it over to Nixios.
Okay. So the sub pistol is of superb quality, and the effects of that it has +1 damage, and it's also fitted with a red dot sight.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Any ammo in there?
There's one clip of standard shells.
What about actually in the pistol? Is the pistol loaded?
It's let's say in the pistol itself is one clip. It's connected to the pistol, and there's no further.
Oh, okay.
After giving Nixios the pistol, I'm just going to turn and look at the big carpet rug in the middle of the floor, and then sheath Kasashini. And as my paranoia begins to kick in, I'm going to grab the rug and whisk it away to see if there's anything under it.
Okay, you whisk the rug away. There is nothing underneath the rug. However, you do think when you get a closer look at the rug that it's made of a fine weave, and it's probably worth something.
It's the flying carpet. No, wrong game.
If only. Put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah. How heavy is the rug? I mean, we're not gonna sneak out of it with a rug. That'd be ridiculous.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that
the
the rug.
bosses might get suspicious. They might think the body. Right.
Just looted the mine. Yeah, problem sorted, boys. We're fucking out of it. We've defeated the rug.
I'm gonna say it's 10 kilograms.
Looters, get them. Arrest them.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not taking a rug. That's ridiculous. If Quintius was here, maybe. I absolutely insist we take this delightful rug. But no, I'm not taking the rug. There was nothing else obvious in here, was there?
No, I'd like to say apart from the papers and somewhat. There's loads of papers on the table.
Yeah. Are we taking this as evidence? It may prove useful.
Yes.
Pile of papers.
Yeah, I think we should. Give us the boss. Let them deal with it.
Okay, so who's taking the papers?
I was going to take some.
You're going to take some, okay?
I'll take the blank ones that I found in the chest and the torch tools. I'll add them to my inventory in a second.
Okay, I'd like you to make a perception test, please, Courtney.
Okay. Ooh.
Excuse you. Okay. So as Clematis is scooping up these papers, one of them that she picks up catches your eye. There is something inscribed upon the parchment that is not merely writing. It seems to be some sort of rune, and you recognise it as a perhaps a rune of power.
Wait, can I take that?
No. I must keep it.
That is a rune of power. I must discern its meaning.
Give it back. Here you go.
Is you handing it over to
Yeah, I've thought to give
to
it back.
Courtney? Okay, and you told her to give it back. So you're holding up and having a look at it.
Yep.
Okay, so as you
We'll
as
tell
you do
her
so,
to urge caution, lest any artifacts that she picks up are cursed with the primordial annihilator. Or by the primordial.
okay, are you heeding the warning of your adept colleague, or are you?
Just exercise caution, Courtney.
Can I? No, that's from another power, isn't it? Prescience is basically what is prescience?
Do you mean? Do you
Prescience.
mean what's it called? Is it prescience? Is that what's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a way of detecting magical power. Sorry, psychic power.
Can I just try and do that?
It's basically psychic awareness, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to try that?
Yeah.
Make a Psyniscience. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So make a Psyniscience test. I'd like to add plus 30 to this roll.
Okay. It's good.
Okay, you look at the parchment, and you study the rune of power, and yes, this scroll definitely is embedded with some sort of energy, a sorceress energy. As you look closer and closer at the rune, it starts to burn brightly in your mind's eye.
Okay.
And within the mansion in your mind, you're aware that one of the doors within now contains this rune inscribed upon the door. By reading the scroll, you have gained a new spell.
Oh wow!
And
Cool.
as you do so, and as this the energy comes into you, the page catches fire and turns to ash.
Okay.
So the power that you gain from this one is called Whispers of the Warp.
Damn it! I was really hoping for psychic stench.
Psychic stench, yeah. It's such a troll. Okay, so let's have a look. Let me get this up.
You nearly had
Right.
psychic stench as a starting power, Johnny.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Damn.
Just gonna get the book open with a spelling.
I don't need psychic stench. Tell you, fucking out. Sometimes a bit of sugar, danger to all.
Regular stench. Oh, there's a guy at work at the minute, man, and he's not fucking showering, and he's got this horrible. It's like a fucking punch. This stench of this guy I have to work with, and I've only noticed that over the last few days. But yeah, I have to kind of avoid him. Like whenever he comes into the lab, whatever, I have to like stand well back because it's like a physical force. This stench.
We used to have a problem with this when we was at Games Workshop because we'd have a similar type customer.
Nerds, yeah.
And it's sort of like we had one guy that came in and he smelled so bad that one day he just got a kind of deodorant and was like, look, do everybody a favour, use this. and he was a little bit offended, but he never smelled like crap after that ever again.
Yeah. Sometimes you have
And
to.
he still continued to come in. So he was like, "We're not being funny, but if you come in, please make a bit of an effort, to not smell like that." So we just handed him deodorant. It was literally, it wasn't anything personal because we liked the guy, because he smelled so bad, like warding people off, and that's not what you want when you're in a business. So it's like we had to say that.
The thing is, it's like anyone can get a bit sweaty and dirty, but to smell like that, you've got sweaty and dirty and stayed like that for a number of days. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it takes real effort to sort of it's like not washing clothes, not washing yourself, and basically it's just too much. Like I feel dirty if I haven't had a shower for one day. If I haven't, what I mean, that's and I haven't had one today because I slept through my snooze. I woke up at 5:20 when I was getting picked up at 5:30, so I didn't have a chance in that small period of time to do that. So yeah, that was that.
Well, I'll tell you, I've got the spell up now, Johnny. I've got this ability up now. It's called Whispers of the Warp. The threshold on this spell is 11, and it's a half action to focus, and it's a sustainable power, and the range of the spell is in earshot. So the echoing whispers of the warp amplify your persuasive abilities to preternatural levels. Anyone who hears and understands the caster must pass an opposed willpower test or become vulnerable to your suggestions, granting you a +10 bonus to any charm, intimidate, or deceive test.
Oh, right.
And if you overbleed it, you can get further bonuses to these sort of tests, up to a maximum of +30. So this will strengthen your ability to charm, intimidate, or deceive, or that kind of ability. Okay.
Excellent.
So you can now cast that one. You can now cast that one at will.
Cool.
Okay. So everyone else sees the scroll burn up, but you don't quite understand the significance of what you've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, Kiyoshi sees it and just gives a.
You know a spell.
Okay. We still need to find our quarry. The man whose name I have not forgotten because it has only been a few hours. Is it
Perfectly good name.
Talos Greyheart?
Yeah, his name is Talos Greyheart, but his cover name I think was Rufus Maguire.
Yeah, Rufus Maguire. I've got that written here. So it seems to me that whatever they were up to here, trying to summon Mother, they were seeding other minds. Now, does that mean they were seeding them with other people loyal to them, or have they already had some eggs taken out of the mind? I think it's people.
Yes, I would suspect so.
But we should maybe tell the administrator. Wait, what if he's in on it? Ooh.
Well, the book says that he was feebly minded and easy to manipulate, so
yeah,
I suspect not.
Well, there was three mines already under control and 8 more seeded. I don't think we're in a position to clear another 11 mines. We should maybe tell the overseer, the administrator, and let him deal with it with his men before they get powerful. There's no mother to make them more powerful, is there? So.
Oh, you presumably you've killed the mother, not.
Yeah. Yeah.
We presume it says she came from the depths. Can we go and see if the key that didn't work on this lock works on the room that we couldn't get into? And if not, I found some melter charges, and we should maybe use that to get in, or use that to block the chasm from future.
Yeah. Was there just one door? There was one door sort of south of Mother's position, wasn't there?
Yeah,
was there another door somewhere else, or am I imagining that?
There's just one more door that you've not explored, which is down south.
Sad.
Dan Saf.
Okay, I will.
Did you want to head
I
off
will-
back that way?
I will take point as we head off that way, and as I walk past Nixios, I'm just gonna whisper to him, "Eyes on Xanthi," because I'm now paranoid as fuck about Xanthi.
And so far, she hasn't said a word.
I'll
I'm going to move you guys down here to where you're going next.
To the door, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's where I'm moving you to.
I'll say to Kyoshi, eyes on all of us. I think any of us could suffer one of those psychotic breakdowns every time we come across a creature as foul as that.
Just gonna give a token growl in response to that.
I've lost one of you now. Deary.
I don't know what you're grumbling about. You're an assassin. I'm a fucking pencil pusher. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in a cave like this.
I will watch over you, Nixios.
Well, thank you very much.
Kyoshi has no idea what he's killed. He doesn't know anything about this sort of shit.
I really must
Well, you
question
know that-
the inquisitive state of mind if you send people like me into a cave like this.
You have to say between all of you, you have noticed some kind of strange, questionable decisions by the Inquisitor, even though you've never met him. So you've moved to the door where you tried this previously, and it was locked. And this is what happened when you turned left when you came through the iron door, which the mutants were defending, and going right leads off to where the chasm is. But originally you turned left here and you came across this door. So you try the other key, and indeed it does yield.
I will take point at the door.
Okay, so the room is dark, but you can hear cries of anguish, and you can hear movement, people moving in the dark. The smell of the room hits you like a fist. It's the smell of human waste, of desperation and fear, and on the edge of that, the sickly, sweet smell of death and decomposition. As you enter the room, you see a dozen or more wretched mutants, unarmed, emaciated, and frightful. And they back away, crying, tearful, and trying to hide in vain.
Double shame.
Let me, okay.
Okay. These, out of character, these must be the ones that were mentioned in the journal. The ones who did not turn, that they were keeping to feed to mother, basically. Yoshi's going to take a couple of steps inside, holding his burning torch. And just sort of.
Okay, as you walk in, the occupants scatter away from you.
Are they all mutants? Is there anyone that doesn't look like they're a mutant?
Some of them, I mean, quite a few of them do have visible signs of mutation, but not all of them. Some of them just look wretched, or some of them might have non-visible mutations.
And I'm going to call out to them and say, Rufus Maguire.
Okay, there's like a scream and muttering and shouting, and then suddenly one of the occupants is pushed towards you by his companions. Him! He's Rufus! It's him! Take him! Screams some wretched woman.
Okay.
See this person who's described as Rufus by one of his companions, and he stands and he looks at you, and at least as much as his hunched back allows. He's stooped with mottled purple hide that looks unhealthy and diseased. One arm is hideously mutated. It's massive with interlocking plates and some kind of exoskeleton and a huge claw with 3 talons. But his brown eyes are all too human and sharp as they consider you. He speaks up and goes, "I go by the name of Rufus. What of it? Am I to meet the mother now? Do it! Put an end to this wretched life."
You serve. Oh, sorry, go.
I was just about to say, you see this wretched mutant, and he puts you very much in mind of the other mutants that you've slaughtered on your progress through the mine.
In the Emperor's name, Rufus, we have come to take you away from here. Fear it. Too late.
You are safe. You are safe. We are the rescue.
And as you say this, the word rescue starts to pipe up from amongst all the people in the room. Rescue, rescue. They're whispering, and you can sense a note of hope in the words. But
and then I draw my my auto gun.
Rufus goes, "My savior, are you? You will forgive me if I choose not to believe you. Hope has been scourged from me."
I'm going to take another step towards him and say, "We serve the same master as you. He has sent us."
And now you see a change in the expression of Rufus, and his eyes sparkle perhaps a little. He goes, He came back after all this time. I have languished in his mind for years. I would have never imagined that he would come back, let alone launch a rescue mission. He must want that painting something terrible.
Painting.
We aren't charged with that mission, are we?
No, we
you have no.
nothing
You have,
about the painting.
I'm afraid. So don't make me get the chicken out. And then up around the other people in the room, someone starts to go, "Be praised! We're saved! We're going to survive! Rescue! They've come to rescue us!" says another.
I don't think the enforcers are going to want to rescue these wretches, but
Enforcers, no, they've been told to put down this uprising, and according to the enforcers, these guys will be property. So you have transfer papers which give you ownership over Rufus, but that doesn't extend to the other slaves that you see here.
Well, we're only here for Rufus, aren't we? We don't really give a shit what they do.
Kiyoshi is going to say, "The rest of you, there will be people coming for you. Wait here 10 minutes and then follow us to the mine entrance. Rufus, come. We must leave." And I'm just going to sort of gesture him out the door.
Okay, he takes your look and he nods. And he says to the others, "Do as they say." And he walks out of the chamber with you. But when he's outside, he grabs you with his good hand, Kiyoshi. He grabs you by the arm and says, "It would be a kindness if you do not intend to rescue these unfortunate creatures. It would be a kindness to put an end to them. It is no life in this mine, but they have not the strength to take their own lives. And who could blame them? They still hope for rescue, for freedom."
okay.
Kiyoshi's just going to look between Courtney, Nixios, and Clematis and say, "They are not our concern."
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my auto gun and then turn it on them and spray them. So that's great.
So you want to spray the room with autogun fire? Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, I'd like to spray the room with auto gun.
Hey! What are you doing, man? You're out of your
Man.
fucking mind. What did you read on that fucking scroll?
You have prayed for salvation. Now you shall have it. And then I'm just gonna then stop to reload. Stop to reload when there's twitching, and then shoot them while they're twitching.
Johnny showed too much mercy yesterday, and he's now wanting to make up for
It's
masters.
just quadrupled his kill count for all 3 campaigns in one swift move.
Okay,
yeah.
so you fire the autogun, you spray the room with bullets, and then you reload, fire again, and after you get through 2 full clips, you don't see anyone standing in the chamber.
And I'm just gonna turn around to the mutant guy and go, "Is that what you?"
And he goes, "It was a kindness that you did."
Well, in that case, I don't feel bad about it. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go then.
Okay, so I'm just going to.
I'm gonna remove the clips from my inventory.
Okay, so what would you like to do then? Are you heading out of the mine now? Is this are you done in here?
There's 2 things I'd like to suggest as we're leaving the mine. The first is I'm going to say to Rufus, I'm going to say, "Mr. Greyheart, as far as the authorities are concerned, you are now our property. I suggest you behave accordingly to ensure your safe rescue."
Talos, he smiles a little smirk, and it's the first time you've seen him smile, and he goes, "My time as a slave in this wretched cobalt mind, I can keep up this pretense a little while longer."
Do we have manacles?
I don't know.
Did we get some?
I
don't
seem to
remember.
think, I don't know if it was in the other group or not.
Somebody picked up some.
I don't know, is the honest answer. Let's have a look in your... Let's see.
I know I have.
Do any of the mutants have manacles on them?
Not the ones in this room. Let
No.
me just check through. I don't see that you got any manacles.
I
You're
don't
definitely ringing a bell here, but I'm just looking through my notes, which are always perfect.
Mhm.
I don't think anyone's got any manacles from here. I don't know if it's in the other group where you got some manacles.
And the other thing I'm going to suggest is to Courtney and anyone else that put on any of the Enforcer armor, you should remove your armor. It may look suspicious. We may be suspected of having killed the Enforcers.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, we can do that.
I think we've lost Hayden.
I think we've lost him for some time, so
Yeah.
we'll just be on automatic for the time being. So, okay. So as you're heading out of the mine, Kyoshi, Sister Zanfei turns to you and speaks. And it's the first time you've seen any sort of humanity out of her for some time. And she says, I know what I did. I remember. I have a curse, a gift, a curse. I can see the spirits, the auras of people. But that thing, that aberration, it went straight into the chasms of my mind. It broke me. I'm sorry that I nearly killed you. The canoness, she was right about me. She was right.
The beast is gone, Xanthi. It is defeated. No thanks to you. I'm just going to walk away.
Your words looks like it hits her like a physical blow, and she flinches from the strike. But she doesn't resist or argue. She just casts her eyes downward
Do we have
and says
do
nothing more.
any of us have any training with demolitions?
I do not believe any of you do, but you probably think you could deduce how to use it, but no, I don't think any of you have demolitions at all.
Yeah.
But you think you'd be willing to have a go.
Yeah. Join me in the cabin, please, my friends. I would endeavour to close it so that we won't see such an abomination again.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay, so you head back into the cavern, and I'd like you to make an intelligence test.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So you think it might be tricky to close it fully. You can certainly have a go, but the chasm is huge. So you'd have to line along the edge with the melter gel in different areas and try and bring a large section of it down. But whether it would completely seal it, you're not sure. I'd say it's so large, this rift, that it may be challenging to seal it completely. Is what you deduce.
Well, let's give it a try.
Okay, so you want to try, and you think that if you're going to try, you should use all of the melter gel. I think you have
Yeah.
2 tubes of it.
Yeah.
So you spend some time, and you place the gel where you believe it'll have the best effect along the sides of both sides of the chasm. As you're doing this, Talos speaks up, and he's talking to Kiyoshi because Kiyoshi seems to be doing most of the speaking for for you so far to him, and he goes, "So you bested the mother's men?"
And the beast itself.
And he goes, "Ha! Ha! They deserved what they got. Fanatics summoning creatures that they do not understand. I played along as best I could and feigned dedication to their cause, but the overseer could tell that I was only pretending to wish entrance to their cult. He knew that I was a liar. They locked us all in the room, and they came for one at a time. Kicking and screaming, they took them, and no one ever returned. I think they fed us to that bitch."
This overseer, is this the one called Dectre, or the one who replaced him?
Oh, Dectre was his name. Yes, I always had a bad feeling about that one. He was too nice for an overseer trying to win over the miners with his fancy words. Yeah, I knew there was nothing good about him.
He is no more. He summoned strange powers, but he lies dead further in the cavern.
But his robes are comfortable.
Perhaps you should remove those, Courtney, before we leave.
I don't know about that. They're quite nice. Maybe just tie them up a little bit, make them look less roby.
Perhaps you should remove them before we leave. You can replace them later when we return to the ship. But if we leave with guard and enforcer armor and the robes of the leader of this mine on our personage, perhaps those at the gate will frown upon it, and I, for one, cannot face another fight this day.
Do you think they even know what he looks like? It doesn't seem like they got that far into the mine. Saying.
Take the robes off, Courtney.
What is this?
We've gone through a lot of effort to maintain the illusion. Please maintain us a little longer before we leave the cave and get redstone.
Okay then. Okay. I'm gonna go and into a shadow and take the robes off as well.
Okay, so you take the robes off. You take the enforcer armor that you're wearing off as well.
I notice Yoshi going deep breathing as I do this, and it's concerned. But I don't think anything. So I catch a bit of nipple in the light. And, what was that? What was that? No one knows. There we go. And then just put my my tatty robes on that I had on before.
Okay.
Happy now.
Okay, so as you're setting the charges, Nixius, and as Courtney is changing, Talos wanders over to where the corpses are, and he finds the corpse of the of Overseer Dekdre, and he spits upon it. Okay, so I'd like for Nixius, I'd like you to make an intelligence test at half for your demolitions attempt.
Can anybody assist him with this?
I'm not sure. Has anyone
No.
would anyone have any sort of background here that may be relevant? Well, actually, Talos speaks up. Talos speaks up and says, "Let me have a look at that, adept." And he wanders over to where you're setting a charge, and he goes, "Over there. See the fault line. A charge there would be most beneficial."
Well, I must confess, this isn't my area of expertise, so any assistance would be most appreciated.
So he will offer assistance, and it will give you a +10 to your test.
Oh, no, I may
Okay.
use a fate point.
You most certainly can.
Should I? What if it turns up the forbidden number?
You can't live in fear of the 100, can you?
No, better, but still no cigar.
Okay, so you set up all the demolitions. You feel a brief surge of adrenaline as you set off the detonation, and there's a deafening explosion, a series of explosions, and a section of the chasm starts to break away and plummet, and then further down the chasm, as a series of explosions go, more and more of the chasm starts to fall, and it falls away into darkness. And you look down as the smoke and the dust starts to clear, but you're not sure whether you've managed to block it, because as you look down and down, it seems to go off forever. You've definitely brought off a large amount of the chasm, but have you achieved your objective? You're not quite sure.
Best we could. Better than nothing.
Okay. So if you would strike off, please, the melter gel. You can keep the detonator if you want. It could always be disassembled for parts, if nothing else. Or if you find some more melter gel. But yeah, the gel itself, you're going to have to strike off your inventory, please.
Alan, as they're working on this, rigging up the explosives, Kiyoshi kneels down, feet tucked under him, sword held out before him across his lap, and closes his eyes and mutters some prayers to the Emperor. And I'm going to send you a message on
I can
Messenger.
probably...
No, I've sent it. I've sent it in the darkest Heresy chat, just to spoil the illusion of what I was trying to do.
You've ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to be mysterious, but fuck it.
Right. So if you want to add 4 wounds on.
Yeah.
Okay. So you meditate while this explosion goes off, and Alice goes, "Well, That was satisfying.
I don't know if it'll help stop that abomination coming back, but it's better than nothing.
Our objective is accomplished. That much we should be proud of. We should leave.
Let us exit with haste.
Right. So you head off out of the mine. There's nothing else anyone wants to do in the mine. Then are you all?
Yeah, give me a,
Okay. So you head off and you head off outside.
Mhm.
And we're just going to leave it there for a second. We're going to take a quick break.
Yep, I'll go
Like
have a
5-minute break,
piss.
and yeah, and then we'll come back. Okay.
Okay. Oh, Hayden's woken up.
Yes.
We've rescued our quarry, Hayden.
Okay.
Courtney went berserk and killed all the other mutants that were ones that hadn't turned to the mother. She butchered a load of them with her auto gun.
Two clips were burned up. No, it's because basically they would have just gone back to work fine. So the mutant that we rescued said it would be a kindness to put them out of the misery. So I did.
And then Nixios used the melter gel he'd found last time to try and close the chasm where Mother came out. And then we're leaving. We're leaving the mine.
That sounds very fair.
Yep.
Happy with that.
yeah, good hustle.
Can Clematis read and write?
Yes, can.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been to this church school of life.
Yeah. Once we get clear of here, I'm probably going to offer her the 20 blank sheets of parchment that I found. Because they're not much use to Kiyoshi. He can't read all right. Kiyoshi basically is just going around being moody, usual shit. Right.
Okay. Oh no, Johnny's still awake. got a couple of weeks off coming up soon.
Nice.
Blessed.
3 more
blessed.
days at work and I've got a week off. Get some games in.
Yeah, sure. Get some games if you like.
I'm off from, I think it's the 5th. No, that's this week coming. From the 25th, I think, for 12 days.
Cool. We should have to have maybe listen to some records, have a drink. Sometime.
Yeah, definitely. You're always welcome around, you know that?
Cool. We've got a new record.
Oh, what have you got?
I think I've maybe even told you about it before. It's another John Hopkins one.
Oh, right, cool. I like that. That's good. I bought this the other week. You know, where my band had a gig.
Oh yeah, Weird Wolf. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the bands had their own records, so I bought their record. They were quite good. They were a little bit derivative of many other bands. Like there was a lot of Arctic Monkeys, a lot of Queens of the Stone Age, all mixed together. But they were quite enjoyable. So I fucking bought a record, 15 quid to help them out. I haven't listened to it yet.
Cool.
Right. Now, I apologise, Alan. I'm doing a slight bit of metagaming here in some respect.
Oh, it's all good, mate. I'm sure you won't push. I'm sure you won't push the.
All I'm doing is sort of getting a rough valuation of some of the bits and pieces I've looted, just to see sort of roughly what I've got before I try and do what I'm probably going to do a bit later. Fucking hell, what am I thinking of? Oh yeah. That was me, not Kiyoshi. Maybe. Right. I'm basically plotting for the return to the ship when I go and see the armourer. Dude, Is it Dominic or whatever his name is?
Dominic. That's a great name for someone you want to hate.
Yeah. It could only be worse if he was called Carl.
Do we have any local currency?
I think Kiyoshi has some.
Kiyoshi has the purse strings, yeah. Yeah. We've got a decent amount. It'd be enough to get us a few bits and pieces of what have I got? 125 drachma Kiyoshi's carrying. So that might come in handy for something. But I'm assuming here that once we get out of here and get back, we're going to be heading back to the ship.
Yes, certainly. But before we do, I fancy some ammo.
I think you might struggle to get rounds for your needle rifle here because this is
the stub.
Yeah.
Stub.
I'd like to get some. I don't know where I'm going to. I am a bit of a trader of Xenos artifacts, so we'll see if we can find anything that. Well, we need some kind of a contact first of all. I don't know if there's anyone to trade with on this world, but
I mean, there's always a chance that some of the gear we've looted, if people didn't want it, we could trade it with Dominic Peters because stub ammo is relatively cheap normally. So I'm assuming on the ship it might be pretty cheap.
Yeah.
You know, some of the shit we've looted off these guys, there's various guns and things that we don't need. We could maybe.
We had equipment off that fellow, which is proven shoddy in quality.
Yeah, but if we give him decent shit and maybe throw him a few thrones, he might give decent stuff. Because I think he.
Well, I'd rather not risk it. I'd rather deal with some people. All right, yeah, we can head back, can we? Or would you? Yeah, you just want to head back. Okay.
We need to. We need to get this guy back, don't we? That's
your mission is to extract this guy and get him back to the ship. That is your mission.
Okay.
So you've achieved the first section of that mission, and now it's just a case of getting him back to the spaceport.
Is it? It's a stub revolver you got, isn't it?
Stub revolver, yes. With +1 damage and a red dot. Like.
That's pretty good.
What's a small arm pistol is the kind of thing I'm trained to use when rather than waste the needle rifle.
Yeah, Keep the needle rifle for the big bads and use the stub rounds on the plebs.
Yeah, he did some beastly damage onto my big baddie. I wasn't sure whether it'd be too hard or too easy because I knew that both you or Kyoshi can put out some serious damage. I was quite to start with. I thought, oh, it's going to be far too easy, and then I thought, oh no, it's gonna kill the party. But
I was quietly confident until Xanthi started fucking shooting at Nixios, and then I'm like, I have to react to that. I can't ignore it. It's in his character to fucking do something about that. If it had been any other character, I would have just carried on hacking away at fucking Mother. But I had to try.
Yeah.
Save Nixios.
No, you did it. You did it just right in terms of your character motivation. So, and you nearly, I mean, you took a severe hit on the way out, so that probably put you on death's door on the bolt round. So.
Yeah, that knocked me down to 0 wounds, I think, didn't it? The hit from
it was the like free hit. That was definitely did a good strike on you, I think.
Yeah, I seem to remember.
Yeah, we just got away with that. To be honest, I
seem to remember I was on something like 1 or 2 wounds, and I used D5 to get some back, and then Mother fucking clobbered me, and then Xanthi did like 9 or 10 damage, didn't she? And technically killed me.
Yeah. I mean, she did 9 over wounds, didn't she? With the Vulpus.
Got a bit cocky there, Kyoshi.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of taught yourself into it as well, because you're like, oh, actually, when I try this and it fails, I actually go on the ground myself. So
it's like everything I did in that fight was against my common sense, but it was in keeping with the spirit of Kyoshi. So
you got to do it. You got to do it. Yeah, Brownie. In yesterday's game, we were doing a hit on this. I don't know. It's like we're doing a hit for a crime boss, and Dave put in like a moral threat. We broke into this guy's room, and then there was like a child watching the television in there as well. And like Johnny's playing an utter psycho. I'm playing a cannibal fucking deviant, and then and the allegedly the good guy, the Arbite, he's probably as ruthless as anyone. So yeah, it was quite an enjoyable little session last night. It was like the moral hazard. I went in there. I was like, oh, the ethics, the morality of it. It was a nice, good building up of tension, and it was well done.
I thought that there was a few things I expected. One was I thought maybe Siegfried might kill the boy. I never considered you would let Gustav live. I assumed.
No. I didn't think I would.
I put him in the bath, and I said before you logged in tonight, I spent a good 10 minutes at the beginning of the game looking up the rules for suffocation because I expected you to just hold him under the bath because it would have just looked like he'd drowned. And then I thought that Siegfried would kill the boy, or possibly Gaius would take the boy with you and convince Canny to find him a home in the carnival, or maybe even try and give him to Missy or something like that. I honestly thought something like that would happen.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
So what actually did it?
Well, so Johnny had like he like had a kind of a fit of mercy, which is so out of character for him normally, and he was like, the boy needs his father, and I kind of I was swayed by by Johnny, I suppose. So
strange indeed.
But Hayden's character, Gaius the Pious, the last pure man of Camp 109, the only survivor of a Nurgle infestation, who is renowned for being good and pure, wanted to kill them both.
I had to basically strong arm him out of there to because he was like, no loose ends. It's like then Johnny had like almost changed heart saying, we need to take a trophy from him to prove that we killed him. Like I need to take a finger or something. It's like, oh, is that a Hayden? You coming back to us, buddy?
Yeah.
Welcome back, man.
He's been hovering around in the darkness for a couple of minutes now.
He's been on the edge.
Well, was it about 20 minutes? Have it been about 20 minutes?
I don't know, mate. I'm not sure. We've not moved to very far along in the actual game, so I'm not sure when we left you, but you recovered the guy that you sent there to extract, and Brownie put some bombs along the chasm to try and steal it. and now you're heading out of the mine, so you've not missed. You're not missed much.
All right, perfect.
I suspect we're just going to go straight back to the ship and get the fuck out.
Yeah, what was I looking for? I was going to have a look on something on there.
Gonna
Uncanny.
take outside.
I wanted to see. What was it?
Oh, never mind. Would be meta speak.
Well, there's been a bit of meta tonight. It's what's up, buddy? What are you thinking?
I was just thinking Johnny needs to whisper whatever we want out of that fucking armor addiction.
Well, that's it's not a bad idea, but it would be a meta, that suggestion.
He's not here, so it doesn't count. You wouldn't have heard it.
Nice.
That's true, but it's not a bad
Yeah.
idea.
I've got a
So what-
feeling that I'll be able to get one of the things I want out of Dominic Peters.
That is his name.
That's
Yeah,
his name.
That sounds like CBB's host.
I tell you what, I really
You're
don't understand
right.
something. I'm really bad at remembering people's names in real life, but for some reason I've remembered loads of Alan's
fictional,
NPCs' names. And my own as well. I tend to
yeah.
remember them quite.
Fictional names, no problem. But if
Yeah.
it's someone's real name and you've just met them and you got no chance.
It does help that I've written down every single NPC that we've met in your game, where they were, what they did, and what the name is.
I
So.
swear, Dan, your notes will be so much superior to mine in my own game.
Well, I've got at least 2 pages for each session we've done in your game, and then I've got a few digitized things that I've written up as well, and I've got the novelization that I'm working on.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm doing 2. I'm doing like one is the Journal of Quintius, which is as pompous and ridiculous as you can imagine. And there's a few comments about his colleagues in that, about what he thinks of them, which is quite ridiculous. And Kiyoshi's is a memoir written from his point of view, and it's like it's suitably brooding and dramatic. And it begins with the line, "My name is Kiyoshi Kubo. I am a servant of the God Emperor. I am his blade and his wrath. I am death. There is little else I can tell you about myself."
Emo.
Yeah, he is a bit emo.
Dear.
Because there is a real emo bit. Where is it? I can't remember now. There is a really emo bit in there.
Where's Johnny gone?
No.
I'm not sure. We said we'd have a little break. We're just waiting on him to come back before we carry on.
Yeah, I'm going to make a brew, but I'm still in the same kitchen, so give us a shout. If
No
you
worries,
need.
mate. Like I say, it seems it's going to be quite a light one tonight. Just slow pace and it's a bit of a breather session.
Yeah, we've had sort of 3 heavy combat sessions in this game, haven't we? So
Yeah. So I'm
was
trying
it
to
3?
make a bit more of a breather one. Yeah. Not.
You have to pace them a bit, don't you? Mix them up. So
Yeah.
We can wrap it up. You think? Well, no, not wrap it up. Do you think we can get back to the ship?
I hope so. I'll give you a few spoilers, but I was hoping that you would get both groups back to the ship tonight.
yeah,
I thought we might even have some. I thought we might even have some time on the ship, but it's going a bit slower than I predicted. But it always does.
Yeah, I thought you were
we'll
maybe
see.
aiming for that when I saw
Yeah.
the name of the game tonight. So.
Well,
Oh, so
I'll send you a little message. I think not to the Darkest Heresy group. I'll send it to you.
Don't do what I did.
Yeah.
I ruined everything, Alan.
It's
trying to
hardly
be
a big deal, that one, but it's still annoying when you mean to.
Yeah, I was trying to make it all mysterious,
Yeah, we'll send you a little message. What we got here? Okay. Yeah, I liked how you goaded me last night as well. It's like, my campaign will be the darkest heresy. It's like, ooh,
It's a
I
different
love
kind
it.
of dark, though.
It's,
Yeah,
no,
you
it's
know,
good. Psychops,
also-
like, yeah, it's good. It was
Yeah.
well done.
mine's going to be a very psychological campaign.
Yeah,
'Cause,
well.
like, I've got themes going in both games. You see, and in Darker Heresy, like the themes are paranoia, the belief that not everyone is in control of their own actions. You know, there's a lot of that going on,
Mhm.
and there's gonna be more of that as well. There's going to be also like some of the shit I was pulling on Johnny with the dream sequences and stuff. I was kind of hinting at shit like that.
Mhm.
There's that sort of theme. It's all about manipulation, paranoia. Who can you trust? Can you trust anyone? Whereas
No one.
the other game is much more linear. It goes from mission to mission, and they're all gonna happen in a certain order. But the reason for that is because the theme in that game is going to be more about fate and destiny and prophecy and things
Mhm.
like that. Whereas this game is a lot more reactive to you. The big game is you reacting to me, but Darker is I'm reacting to you more and giving you stuff to do based on how you act. What was I going to say? I was just about to say.
I was thoroughly enjoyed last night. So I was proper invested in last night, which it's not always the case. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
sometimes you get proper into it, and
I could tell you were all having a good time. There was a proper element of tension just when you were creeping up to the hab block. Nothing happened at all, but you could really feel the tension building, even though nothing was happening. It was quite good. And I think a lot of it is because of those repeated awareness tests I made you make. It's like, and not half the time when you were making them, there was nothing to see,
yeah.
nothing to hear, and stuff like that. But it's like, but there was sometimes. And I'll give you a little spoiler about some of the things that you were hearing. Obviously, the voices and the music was the TV through the door.
Mhm.
There was one of the little drones that you'd seen. One of them was trying to get through the door, but the door was shut. And at one point, you heard footsteps. That was the building superintendent that was fiddling with the cogitator that I think Gaius saw, or Siegfried. That was him walking down the corridor at the exact moment that you were talking to Gustav. So if you'd have committed an act of violence or anything loud, he might have heard something and come to investigate. But he didn't. He passed on by and he carried on. There was also out the front of the building that you never saw, there was a full squad of sanctuaries just loitering around the front door, but you never heard them and you never made a sound. So
I think it went quite smoothly all in all.
Mm.
Went quite smoothly, but we'll see if it was the right decision. That will play out over time. So
I'm quite
basically
looking
what I've done.
forward
I've just checked my oaths. I've sworn an oath to King Sanchez that I would silence him and retrieve the evidence, which I've done.
Yep.
If the guy remains silent, but if he doesn't, then that makes me an oath breaker, which I think will give me like insanity points or some shit.
To be fair, the way he reacted to Canny, because Canny is a fucking terrifying person. Canny would be fairly confident that guy
Yeah, I think so.
is going to do one, unless there was something about the guy that Canny didn't know, like he was secretly a fucking general in the sanctuaries undercover or something. There's no reason to suspect he would do otherwise.
Yeah, if he's got any sense, he'll be he'll be on his way.
I mean, he's a desperate man. He's an obscure addict, and he's got his boy to look after. Who he made it quite clear he was more bothered about his boy than anything else. So yeah, that whole made him run. I don't foresee that being a problem. There might be other problems depending on what happens when you get back to Sanchez.
Yeah, we can deal with that as we come. So
that's probably going to be either the back end of the next session or the session after that, because the next session we're gonna do a little side quest in the next game, and I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be it's going to be the culmination of a few things that have happened in the background, things that you have seen, things that you haven't. It's going to be good fun.
Oh.
With Vanetta playing detective, it's going to be be interesting.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Like saying, it's I really need that brown egg.
Yeah,
that's the quest reward, and I've got to have it.
I'm genuinely looking forward to the brown egg. I don't even know why. I just think it's amazing.
It's nice. It's nice when the campaign veers off into unexpected, weird territory. So I really enjoyed last night with all like talk about re-cheese. For some reason, that really got me. Like
Well,
I
it's
don't
that
know
with
what.
corpse cheese, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
like
meta chicken and re-cheese.
like reconstituted corpse cheese. Like but that little play out, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just totally random, like people playing off one another. So.
I've got in a couple of weeks' time, my friend who moved to America is coming back for 3 weeks. His mother isn't very well. She's had it was suspected brain cancer, and she has got some sort of tumor, but it's benign, so they're whipping it out. And he's coming back from America for a few weeks just to look after her while she recuperates. And he's one of my D&D players.
Oh, right.
So we're having a couple of, while he's back, we're going to have a couple of real life in the flesh games of D&D, which I'm really looking forward to.
Groovy. I'm just going to go for a quick slash, and then we'll make a start, I think, and then if Johnny turns up, we'll just carry on without him for a bit, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah. So I was just talking. I had to have a chat.
It's all right.
I'm just going to mute myself.
Just been talking about last night's game, Johnny, about the role reversals and the interesting shit that happened.
I had to restore the balance today. I think I did that reasonably well, and racked up a nice kill count in the process.
We're
justice.
I've been talking to Al a bit today about the next session. Because obviously you boys are on your way back. By the time you get back to the mansion, it's going to be getting on for about 8 o'clock at night. So there's nearly a full day of stuff for the NPCs to be doing. And obviously Vanetta told Canny that she would go and look for the missing woman, the mate of the Birdman, didn't she? So we're basically going to do an NPC side quest, like a detective quest, where Vanetta is going to drag Otto and Ferinus and whoever else wants to go, and they're off to go look for this missing woman. And it's
I'd like to play Otto again.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good fun. This I've got some interesting little bits for it, so I think it'll be a nice little side quest that happens at the same time.
I already have a hunch already about what's happened and where she's gone. It's something to do with that fucking abomination in the fucking freak show. I'm sure of it.
The abomination in the freak show.
Yeah, the unclawed gene stealer. I've got a distinct feeling something. Yeah, that's the root cause of it already.
You mean the one genuine horror in Hampton's House of Horrors?
Yeah, I think that's got every. I think that's got every.
The only thing in the House of Horrors that isn't just a creature with a bit of carpet stuck to his back or something like that. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, the actual genuine abomination, the genuine creature, the gene stealer, is the. I believe that is the root.
Wasn't too happy about him setting up a gene stealer cult in the middle of my fucking hometown. So. Like an evil GM. Evil GM. Yeah. Dave's definitely the worst one out of the pair of us, for sure.
That is a pretty nasty move, man. Putting a fucking gene stealer.
Though, I might do something horrible, but I'll always balance it with something else. It's all about GM karma.
GM karma. It's important. It is important. You need to look after your karma. So we'll make a. I think we can make a move on now, guys. So you've left the mine. You leave the mine without incident. The 6 of you, and outside of the mine, holding their fire, is a squad of enforcers. And these are the same guys who were there when you went in. They're the same guys who gave you the torches.
Yep.
And immediately, as you've seen, the guns are lowered, and the sergeant of the squad, who you spoke with before, walks up to you.
I'm going to be holding Talos Greyheart's arm, as if I'm leading him out with my torch in the other hand, Kazushini sheathed. And I'm literally going to walk straight past the sergeant, ignoring him, and I'm going to say, "Your mine is secure. The threat is removed." And then just throw the torch down on the ground at his feet and just carry on and see what he does.
Okay, and he looks at you. He looks you over and says, "You guys did what a squad of my best men couldn't. What did you see in there? What's going on?
The mutants were revolting.
Yeah, I know they were revolting. Fucking horrible fuckers.
We will speak to the administrator of the mine, but it is clear there are no survivors. It appears someone had organized a small revolution and killed those who would not turn to their cause.
Okay, and the sergeant nods and goes, yeah, I'll vox into the administrator and let him know. Let him know of your success. He'll be expecting you.
Very well. I'm just going to look at Courtney, give her a pointed look for a moment, and then carry on walking towards the truck, which I believe is waiting for us, isn't it?
It is waiting. You asked the guy whose name is Jefferson. It's a perfectly good name.
It's
and you did ask him to wait there an extra day.
Yeah.
You're all quite hungry. You haven't eaten in a while. And your belly start rumbling a little bit. But yeah, the flatback truck is there, ready for you to take you back to Lost Hope.
If only we had some meta chicken sandwiches right now.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Kiyoshi's basically going to lead Talos up to the truck and just gesture him brusquely onto the back.
Yeah, Talos is keeping his eyes down, and he's, for all appearances, he's subjugated slave.
Okay. And I'm going to clamber up onto the back of the truck with him.
Okay, as Sister Clematis walks past the truck, Jefferson eyes her greedily. Okay, so you're going in the back of the truck, or is someone riding shotgun?
Shotgun.
You're going shotgun, Brownie. Okay.
Don't forget to just undo your jacket a little bit, Nixios. He likes that.
Okay. So the truck heads back down the mountain roads, away from the mine, and back to the settlement of Lost Hope. It's getting late in the day. It's getting towards evening time, about 7 o'clock, as you return to the settlement.
Okay. Just before we get to the settlement, I'd like to just briefly say to the others, do we tell the administrator what we saw, or do we keep our story as it was merely the mutants rising up?
I think that's an excellent suggestion.
Me also.
Keep it simple.
Okay.
Well.
Also say that they were revolting, because that was funny.
It was not intended to be.
Well, it was,
Yoshi does not make jokes.
Yoshi does not have humor within his portfolio.
He does now.
No, seriously, they were most revolting. Okay.
Okay, so you drive back to the settlement. The drive is uneventful. And are you heading to the head administrator's office where you've been before? Is that what you're planning?
Yeah, I guess. Unless anyone has got a better idea.
Yeah, let's try and get some kind of a reward for doing what we're doing.
Okay, so you head back to the administrator's center, and you're escorted to the head administrator immediately. It looks like they've received the vox of your arrival, and they're expecting you.
Okay.
So you're escorted to the office. Hopefully, you can all see the admin center.
Yep.
And you're in front of Administrator Caleris.
Hi.
And he goes, my men, they tell me you succeeded. They're telling me you put down those dirty slaves.
Yeah, they were revolting.
They certainly are revolting.
Kyoshi.
I just feel it.
Kyoshi grumbles.
I just walk over to him and be like, a nod, like, smile.
I told you succeeded where a squad of my best men had failed.
Well, of course, I can pick my retinue with the fitness training.
Indeed. So tell me, what did you see inside the mine?
Slave revolution, by all accounts. Anybody that wouldn't turn to some kind of leadership was put to death.
I see. Slave uprisings are reasonably common. They don't seem to like the life that we have in store for them, and who could blame them? But we have had several mines going dark recently.
Oh, how many?
Well, I've lost contact with and he calls to one of the other administrators, to like a junior adept, and he brings them across some paper and he says, 3 at the last count.
You should probably expect more.
Yes, indeed. Well, I have a call for reinforcements from the capital, so they won't stand these slaves. But anyway, let me offer you my congratulations. You've done me a great service here. Tell me, did any of the slaves survive?
Only our man.
All right, that's quite the coincidence that the one slave who survived is the one you were looking for.
Well, all of the others were turned to fight against any outside threat.
I see. Yes. Anyway, of course, you will be wanting your reward.
Well, that would be most helpful for services rendered.
Yes. I insist upon it. And he beckons to one of the adepts, who goes and brings a small chest. And he takes out from the chest some high denomination drachma coins, and he hands over to you, Nixios, 500 drachma. And he also offers a ceremonial key.
Ooh.
And he says, this is an honorary key to Lost Hope, and this will grant you a 15% discount on all of your future slave purchases, for as long as you shall live.
Merci, monsieur. With these gifts, you are truly spoiling us.
At this moment, an adept brings in a small pyramid of nice little chocolates for you.
Kyoshi eats one and goes,
These are not quite as nice as the marketing, as the adverts suggest.
This one has melted into the foil.
Okay, so you make a bit more small talk with the administrator, but oh, sorry, go on.
Sorry, no, sorry. I was just saying they never show you licking the foil on the advert to get that last bit of chocolate off.
They certainly do.
It's a shame because
Surely they did. Real chocolate for real people.
Chocolate for chocolate people. That'll be what it is.
Oh,
No, they can't get away with that. People might misconstrue that. But anyway, continue.
No worries, guys. I say it's a slow pace, I guess. That's where it's all good. So, like say you, is there anything else you'd like to say to the administrator, or you just make a bit more small talk with him? But is there anything else you'd like to say or do before you leave there?
Thank you very much, administrator. We'll be heading off.
Okay. So the next train leaving this place will be at 10 o'clock in the morning. So you'll have to get a night's sleep at the inn.
Okay.
You head off to the inn to get you a couple of rooms. Will cost you 30 drachma.
I will pay that out of the funds I was given.
Okay. So you,
and I'm just to clarify, I have 125 drachma. I'm reducing that to 95 drachma. I have done that, Alan. There is no discrepancy.
I trust you implicitly.
I don't. Not anymore.
I don't even need to check up on you now anymore, Dave. It's always flawless. So, so you spend a night at the inn, and
I've
the
up
day.
my sheet for the last 2 nights. Sorry, lads.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, what do you say?
I haven't touched my sheet at all for the last 2 nights.
Naughty player. Well, you might miss out. I hope you put on 200 thrones because you got that last night. So, I hope you've added that on.
No, I haven't yet.
I'll add that on for you, Hayden, when I finish off tomorrow.
Thanks, Dave.
You must put the loot on. Don't miss the loot. Okay, so you get the train the next morning, and you head back to the spaceport. And the conversation is it's all subdued. You're all stuck in your own little reveries, and you get back to the spaceport proper, and the cargo lifter is there waiting for you.
Okay.
Oh, well. They are prepared today, folks. Shall we board?
Yes, get me up with Dust Bowl.
Okay. So you head up to the cargo lifter, and the doors are shut.
How did they know we were coming?
The Emperor always knows.
The Emperor is far from this place, Clematis.
Well, yeah, if the doors are shut, they're...
Kiyoshi.
Oh, actually, do we have any way... Do you have a radio, Kiyoshi? Somewhere?
I think you might have the long range vox next to you.
Oh,
what's this about back?
I'll as soon as we get up in the morning, can I radio in? And mission accomplished. Require retrieval.
Okay, so you radio in, and on the other end of the radio is Flight Lieutenant Charles Ash. And he goes, "Success, you say? Jolly good! I knew you had it in you."
Can we count on retrieval?
Well, head back over to the spaceport pronto, and I shall give you evacuation from the planet.
Marvelous. On the way.
Okay, so then we'll go back to where we were. You're at the spaceport, and the door is now open because he's expecting you.
The timeline.
The timeline is
tinkered with.
secured. Okay, and you go in, and Charles Ash is on his Vox, and he's going, "Come in, come in. This is Papa Bird to Little Chicks. Come in, come in." And there's a noise.
And then it goes back to Arnie and the others, I guess.
No, it's not working. But you hear a horrible reptilian angry noise, which I'm not able to do on my phone for some reason. It's not picking up on. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, you hear the sounds not unlike a large gator, which you've never come across in. But yeah, that's what comes through on the Vox.
It's not onto the
loud
ship.
Reptilian noise, and
because the long range Vox on the water.
And Charles Ash looks at the Vox and goes, "I don't know what the bloody hell that is. I fear the worst for Cell 53. I think they all might be dead." And again, you hear this reptilian noise across the Vox, and he puts it down and goes, "Well, we have another option, only to be used in a case of emergency." And he pulls out a small case, and inside the case is a servo skull. And he goes to Nixius and goes, "Nixius, pass me that case under the chair there, would you?"
Yeah.
He takes his case from you, and inside are a series of vials. He plugs the vial into the servo skull, and he presses a button and alters the configuration on it, and he speaks the servo skull, and he goes, "This is Papa Bird to Little Chicks. Report immediately to the spaceport. This is Papa Bird to Little Chicks. Report to the spaceport immediately."
Oh, I forgot the crocodile liked it.
And then he takes the servo skull and he puts it outside, and it floats off into the air.
Somewhere right now, Quintus has got a really wet ass, hasn't he?
And somewhere,
Well, I'm afraid I don't.
crocodile is making its way to the spaceport.
I don't
No,
know if.
This is before we went to the spaceport.
I'm afraid my.
The timeline
So
completed.
what's happening is the Service Skull is heading off, and it will eventually meet up with Arnie. Now I'm not certain if you'd had that wet ass. That might have been the day before this is happening. I'm afraid my timeline isn't quite as neat and tidy as yours, so I'd have to check exactly where things are. But I think that you're probably at this point at the casino.
All right.
Trying to get away from a knife-wielding Brittany, I believe. I believe that's where we are.
Okay. Right. Fair enough.
So, and now we're going to leave that campaign, and we're going to go back to the main campaign. If you can remember, back to Cell 53.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
If you can recall your characters' names and your funny accents.
Well, indubitably, good man.
So what's happened is the Service Skull has given you instructions to go back to the spaceport, and this is in the evening, and the next train is at 10 o'clock the next day. There's been some disagreement between Alexa and Quintius. Quintius suggesting that he should stay on the planet, and Alexa being quite forthright, saying that everyone should go back to the spaceport. So yeah, there's a bit of disagreement, a bit of argument between you.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe Alexa recorded a message on the Service Skull saying that you would go to the spaceport, and you sent it back out into the night
We'd
sky.
already been evac, haven't we?
Yeah.
I thought we'd already been evac to Cell 53.
No.
Cell 53, we left it where you were in the Hunter's Inn.
Yeah.
You'd received a message to go back to the spaceport, but you never actually got there.
There wasn't a train until the morning, was there? It was the evening before. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, you will get your evac now. That's kind of where we're coming back to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it.
So we're tidying up. So unless anyone has anything they want to do,
No.
you have a night's sleep at the Hunter's Restless Hunter, and the next day you head back to the Orpheus Express.
If I remember right, Arnie slept against the door to stop Quintius running off.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That sounds right.
Quintius isn't going to have a very good night's sleep because he's spending most of the time scheming about how he can convince everyone that someone, probably himself, should stay behind.
Okay. So the morning comes, and you head off to the train station. You still have forged tickets.
I'm going to retrieve all the shit from the floorboards that I
Okay.
hid, and I'm going to
Okay.
complain the whole time Arnold is dragging me to the train. Just rather than play that all out, that's what Quintius is doing.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
So you get on the train, and you head back to the spaceport. And the train journey is uneventful.
Oh.
And you get back to the spaceport.
Yeah.
And the cargo lifter is waiting for you there.
Okay.
So I want to fight someone on that train.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so as you approach, the door opens, and you're led on board, and you see on board the cargo lifter the members of Cell 54. Who you do the elite. you do know these guys, but not very well, because you both went through some initial training and conditioning by Inquisitor Varric. But you don't know them well, but you are aware who they are. So what we're going to do now is going to be a bit weird. I'm going to let everyone, if they want to, role play with either character. You're all together, but just try and make it clear who you are. You're not forced to, but you have that option if you want to torture yourself. That's all well and good.
Okay.
But you're all together on the cargo lifter now, along with this mutant who you don't recognise. None of you in Selfish Free recognise this mutant. He has a hideous exoskeleton arm, which looks like it's got some killing power behind it. But you don't know what the relevance is of this person. So Charles Ash,
Who is this man? I assume it is a man because it does not look.
So, So,
Is this what awaits us if we waste too much time on this planet? And I'm gonna cuff fucking Quintius.
There was no need for that, Jan. That was absolutely bad out of order. Is anyone else noticing the chap with the strange arm? Oh, hello, chaps. We met briefly once before.
Says, he speaks the truth. To linger on this cursed planet, to invite corruption of the flesh. I was once a handsome man, if you can't believe it.
I find that highly dubious.
This planet has cursed me. But I live still. I can still serve the Emperor.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can,
And,
my good fellow.
What's his corpse paste?
I'm gonna do a Cynesian mystical.
Sorry, I missed that, James. Please repeat.
Do a Cynesian check.
Yes,
Okay.
you can. Please roll.
Oh, give me 2 seconds.
Quintius is making sure that Arnold is between him and the mutant.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm in the middle of a gloom.
The mate's gonna chirp up and go, "Leave the poor man alone, you horrible brute. Step away from him. Do not give him any more trouble. He's a God-fearing man. Blesses afflictions from the plenty. Is that right?"
Right, 1 sec.
That is
Oh,
what
yeah, I've missed
you
you.
call this rift. Okay, so what have you rolled, Mister?
Yeah, oh. No.
Okay, so you don't get any psychic sense from the mutant. I assume that's where you're focusing your scan.
Just everything.
You just a general area. Okay, you get a the strongest source you get from your own backpack. It's the the idol of the laughing monk. That's giving off the strongest source. You also register that Courtney is a psyker, but you kind of knew that already. But you're getting that registration.
Cool.
But that's all you read.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
As Clematis says this about, basically sticking up for this mutant, Quintius, who's been hiding behind Arnold a bit, suddenly steps out and goes, "Oh, hello, my dear. I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Quintius Tarquinius Thespis III," and holds out his hand for her to take.
For Clematis, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, bonjour, Sister Clematis. First, I guess.
Clematis, what a wonderful name. Truly, it suits you. Are you offering your hand out as Quintius takes?
I will. I'll offer it out like this.
He gives a little bow and kisses the back of Clematis's hand.
Oh, you are such a gentleman, you. Why are you not in my group?
Perhaps they split us up for a reason, my dear. Let's make it weird.
If I could,
Fine.
It can be a lot weirder, don't you worry.
I can do this. I can do this.
You've already gone there, guys. You've already gone
We've
there.
done it before. We can do it
it.
again. It would not be the first time Hayden and I have had virtual sex.
Honestly, Dave. That was my first.
First time. You never forget your first time. So.
That was my first. That was my first. Yeah, I had to do it there then.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, nice to see you all again. Haven't seen you since back at the Tricorn. Are we all heading back to the Emperor's Grace?
Well, I think so, Monsieur. We've had a very busy time. Killed something massive. It scared the shit out of me, to be honest.
We too have been fighting rather large beasts, giant reptiles, scary things.
We're doing fuck all except wasting our time, boy.
Oh, come now, Jan. That's not strictly true. We've made headway. We've made friends as we were instructing. We had some good times in the casino and met a few.
You had some good times in the casino, man.
I
But
did have
you
some.
have been to the casino? Do you know what
I
I've
may-
been doing? I've been getting my
I may
mics
have
to
misplaced the block.
I've been getting the whites of my nun's robe filthy with the dirty cave activity I've just undergo. We have had to clear out a cave. So,
Dirty.
come on, this bloody African accent coming out there from Dick. So, we have had to clear out a cave of all disgraceful mutants and also some sort of big demon beast.
I
And then
killed
get
the
a man.
dog.
Lieutenant Flight.
So Sister Clematis chuckles to herself and then goes and stands next to Kyoshi, looks at him, and then chuckles. And then looks at Kyoshi.
Kyoshi
And then
just
looks at them.
Kyoshi just growls.
And he looks back at Kyoshi and goes, What are you laughing at, little man?
Kyoshi. Kyoshi's not laughing. Kyoshi's a laughter.
I thought it looked like he's smirking.
Oh no, he was giving it the growl, the trademark
Yeah.
growl.
Alright,
actually, Kyoshi is kind of checking out Arnie's sword.
What's he looking at, Kyoshi?
Make a perception roll, please, at plus 30.
I've shut Kyoshi's counter sheet down because I wasn't expecting to have to dual wield. Just a second. A perception test at
Plus 30, please.
plus 30. Oh, my chat window has just absolutely vanished.
Okay, looks like you failed your roll. So you recognise that it's obviously a great sword. It looks well crafted, but you don't believe it's crafted as well as your own master crafted blade. But you definitely wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of this great sword. That's for sure.
Arnie's a big chap as well. You know, I'm sizing him up basically.
Yeah, sizing him up.
Yeah. And Anna's going to look down and look at his sword and then walk over to Kyoshi and hold out my sword. As you're looking at it, do you have a look? I see you like swords.
Takes it, turns it over his hands a few times. This is a good blade.
Oh, thank you.
You can see that it's been in battle. You can see that it is it's been fought.
Ari sort of like spins it round with one arm with ease because it's quite strong. Like then sticks it back to his back.
It has seen much use. You must be an expert swordsman.
I wouldn't say that yet. I'm more of a brute force fighter. Even if the man's blocking, I'll send him flying backwards with my swing.
Sometimes strength is all that is needed. Sometimes finesse is the order of the day.
Oh, I understand that. It's like taking aim when you're going to spear something. You have to wait for the movement to flow into your spear.
Was that a dig at me?
Or me? Look at the.
Has anybody got any beer here while we're waiting? Anybody got any wine? Anybody?
Think with anything other than your spear, Mark.
I've got some tinned food. And Kyoshi says, "So have I."
Flight Lieutenant Charles Ash speaks up. And he goes, "By the gods, I thought you were done for, Cell 53. I thought I wouldn't see you again. This planet has a nasty habit of chewing up acolytes and spitting out corpses." And he takes a hit flask from inside his naval officer's jacket, takes a swig from it, and hands it over to Arnold, who was asking for some. And
thank you very much.
It seems to be some sort of spirit. You're not sure what kind of spirit it is, but it's high alcohol spirit, but you're not quite sure what.
Does it smell like Fenrisian, like whatever it's called? It's not mead either.
I'm not sure. I'm not
like
drinking
milk.
Fenris, but it's definitely not that. Whatever it is.
Alcoholic milk.
Not the Clota milk, surely. But yeah, if you make a toughness test, please, at plus 30.
Okay. Toughness 50.
So what the bloody hell happened to your Vox unit? I couldn't get a hold of you. I only got a hold of this. And he presses the Vox unit and goes. There's a strange reptilian noise on the other end of the Vox. What the bloody hell is that?
There was a small incident involving a boat, some water, and some of the native fauna. Would you believe it? I believe the Vox was last seen sinking to the bottom of a crocodile-infested river. Would you believe it? What are the chances?
You lost the damn Vox. Christ. Drusus, man.
Yes, Quincy has lost the box.
Don't blame me for it, you mechanical, maniacal maniac. It was you who was carrying it. It was you who nearly drowned in the bloody river, you tit.
You merely accentuate your own guilt by going on about it.
How preposterous. The chances of me getting into that water are slim to none. And I sit down next to Clematis.
About as slim as
and Clematis looks and goes, so you've been sailing as well as going to the casino.
Yes,
what a life you lot lead. And what's to do with us? Send us down the mine? I don't know.
Well, perhaps when we get back to Sintu,
I'll
take you aboard my private yacht.
Looks like the Inquisitor.
I still looks at him a bit gone out. She doesn't know what a yacht is.
Quintius just carries on babbling about yachts, completely oblivious. Are you passing that, Arnold, or what?
Arnold's gonna have one more swag and then pass it.
Okay, so another toughness test, please. Did you make your first one, your first cruise test? So 1 up plus 30 and then 1 up plus 20, please. Okay, first one's looking good.
So I double clicked X on my thing and it sends it into a different screen. I won't be able to explain that, but
no worries, mate. Can you roll again for me, or tell me what you rolled?
I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
If you double click the chat, sorry.
Yeah,
twice.
I see it, mate. I see it's fine anyway. So you pass both your tests. The alcohol feels good flowing through your system, but you don't feel impaired. You can drink quite a lot and keep your wits about you. So are you handing the drink on to Kiyoshi? Not Kiyoshi, Quintius?
I'm gonna pass it to Quintius, yes.
Cheers, Arnold. Okay. Takes a shot. Immediately fucked.
Okay. Very good. So you're on -10 until the alcohol wears off, and go straight to your head. This crude spirit.
Okay. And I'm going to hold it out to Clematis and go, my dear lady, would you care for a snifter?
Oh, I've got another character sheet up. This is great. 1 minute, sorry. I was just having like double character sheet going up for both my characters. Like she gets plus 30 on her first swag, so. What is that?
Yeah, 6 degrees.
Oh, yeah. She can really handle a drink in the clergy. Not much for nuns to do apart from get fucked and smoke cigars.
Too much holy wine, I think. So.
And play dodgy cards in the bottom basement. This is all we know.
Okay. So, Flight Lieutenant Charles Ash speaks up and he goes, "Well, I'm glad you made it, Cell 53. I was fearing the worst, but the Inquisitor has recalled you back to the ship, and he wants a progress report on your primaries and secondary missions. I can see the Cell 54 has had a success. Jolly good too." And he looks at Talos and nods to Talos. And Talos looks back at Flight Lieutenant Charles Ash and he says, "Oh, say it. No, you want to." Charles Ash goes, "Well, honestly, Talos, you have looked better, in honesty." and he allows himself a small chuckle, and Talos does as well. He goes, "It's true that And self, if you have seen a picture of Talos, the original picture before he came down, and spent the time in the mine, and he did look a handsome, kind of dashing, and certainly non-mutated fellow. So he's had quite a fall from grace.
Okay.
The Flight Lieutenant Charles Astor says, "I think we should try and hide you from the rest of the crew, on a temporary measure, of course. You might startle them." And Talos, yes, I agree. So, go on.
Kyoshi. Oh no, sorry. I thought Kyoshi had a helmet, but he doesn't. I'm talking shit.
Didn't you loot a helmet from one Enforcers or something?
No, I took.
No.
I was carrying the chest piece that Clematis had.
Okay.
Quintius says, "Well, I did have a rather spiffing hat we could have used to put on your head. Unfortunately, someone lost it on my behalf."
Bail.
I was going, whatever do you mean, man? You've been losing more stuff in this cursed river?
Oh no, it was nothing granted to me by the Inquisitor. It was merely a helmet I found that I was growing quite fond of that was dropped overboard in a certain situation we found ourselves in. No harm done, no foul. Still, it sort of saved our lives, I suppose.
Well, jolly good. I should. And he takes the flask back if you're handing it back to him. He says, and he takes one more swag. And he says, well, and his voice is starting to slur a little bit. He goes, well, I best get back and take us back up to the ship then.
Yes, should you really be drinking that much if you're in charge of this vehicle?
Nonsense! I could drive this ship in my sleep. I'm used to finer craft than this old hunk of junk. And he hits the side of the vehicle, of the craft rather. It is, I'd rather be behind the controls of an Inceptor. That's the life for me.
Yeah, do you drink whilst flying those as well?
No, of course not. Not on a mission. But
oh no, of course not. No, only when transporting us. Fair enough. Arnold, hold me. Worry
not, and try not to make yourself sick all over the lifter when we go up. I've only just cleaned out the smell from last time.
I think you'll find I have a cast iron stomach, my dear man.
Yes, quite. Those bits of stomach all over the floor.
Yeah, you remember.
Okay, so he heads back up to the pilot's cockpit, and there's seats for all of you where you can strap yourself in. Okay, and you do so, and the craft begins to take off, and quite quickly Arnold falls asleep. And go on, are you holding your hand up there?
Can I, before we go any further, can I quickly nip for a piss?
Of course you can, yeah, of course. We'll have a little break.
I'm gonna burst.
Are you telling me I'm falling asleep because you think I'm asleep, or just?
No. I'm telling you that Arnold falls asleep. It's nothing to do with you. Right. It's just he finds the transport soothing when it's going up and down through the atmosphere. But it's no comment about you at all, buddy.
No. I wouldn't care if you had.
No.
It's the truth.
But no, it was purely this, so I could make an Aliens reference in a role play.
I can't believe I did a little 20-minute kip.
Well, if you got to go, mate. So you've got to go. So.
Still here for the remainder.
I say it's been a quite quiet, slow-paced session anyway, mate. So. Having a bit of a breather session.
Well, it's I've got to speak it with Arnie for a bit. I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's like my other character off today as well. Why, yeah.
Yeah, so all the Cell 54 characters will get XP after this, and I'll send you all your XP to spend on the Cell 54 characters.
I am back.
Okay, welcome back.
Sorry, I was absolutely bursting there. It just came over me.
Gotta go, you gotta go. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so the so Arnold drifts off to sleep as the craft heads up out of the atmosphere. And it's not as violent a trip as the time when you came down originally, Cell 53. About 20 minutes later, you can see the Emperor's Grace out of the viewport, and the shuttle veers off towards the shuttle port, shuttle bay, sorry, and docks with the Emperor's Grace. And as you get closer to the ship, there's a strange sensation. It's not unlike if there's some loud music or some music playing or drone, or there's something that's constant, and then all of a sudden it gets shut off, and you weren't aware of the constant noise or the constant sensation, but you become aware of it when the silence happens. The absence of sensation is noteworthy. And as you approach your ship, you all feel different somehow. Like something which was weighing down upon you is no longer doing so.
An absence of a thing you were not aware of.
Exactly. I hope that makes lots of sense.
Just to
so
me.
You reach the shuttle bay, and the shuttle bay is open. The shuttle door's open, or the cargo lifter. And Charles Ash says to you, the Inquisitor wants to see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, ship time, for a progress report on your objectives.
Shit.
Don't worry, Quintus has got this.
Have you? Do we?
Yeah, trust me.
Look, fantastic over there. Doing all the missions, doing all the objectives super quick. What have we done? We've located. Well, no. We have located the painting.
We've located the painting. We've done some of the secondary objectives as well.
We have a farm to have a base of operations from, because it's not going to be occupied for a long time.
Yeah, well,
we'll be quite happy about that.
I think we've done pretty well in Cell 53. Our mission was to ingratiate ourselves, get some coin and a regular income, and find the painting. We haven't got the painting, but we know where it is. We've ingratiated ourselves. We've made a few friends. We've got a job. We're doing all right. Don't worry about it. Plus, Quintus has got something else to tell the Inquisitor. He's going to accuse Arnold of heresy. No, he's. I do have a little ace up my sleeve. Don't worry about that.
You only have to convince the Inquisitor that that it's going well. You don't actually need to be doing well.
It's Quintus. This is what he's built for.
This will have to be great. Otherwise,
it's going to be fine. Don't you fucking jinx me, Johnny. I've got this.
Before I go to the room, so we all split up after the lift. I'm going to turn to Kyoshi and say, do you want to go and spar with some wooden swords in the training room?
Perhaps another time. I need to take care of something.
Oh, well,
first one in weeks.
You're right. You stink. See you in the training group, baby.
Okay, so what we'll do now then, we're going to split the two cells, and the NPCs will go off, and you're just going to be your main characters now. You have approximately 12 hours left in this day before you go to bed. It depends. I mean, it's about 12 o'clock ship time, and so you've got about half a day on board the ship, and your next deadline is you've got to meet with the Inquisitor 10 o'clock tomorrow for a debrief and a progress status upgrade. Status. What's what I'm looking for? It's not the word. Yeah, an update as to how your progress has gone.
Okay.
So Zanfair heads off, and she doesn't speak to anyone. She heads off into the ship.
Good.
And you all stood around in the shuttle bay.
Right. Well, I don't know about you, but I could do with a drink. Is there a bar here? Actually, no. Do you think maybe we could perhaps gather round, gentlemen? Alexa, I have an idea. What about this? Now, I might be just feeling a little cocky, a little arrogant, out of character, I know. But what about this for an idea? What about some of the fancy bits and pieces we've looted on the planet? What about we trade them with the quartermaster? I know, he's not our best friend. However, maybe we can butter him up a little, give him a few choice pieces of our gear, get him on our side, make him like us, and then when his guard's down, bang! We get him! Arnold gets him, to be precise.
Quintius, why don't we just put some explosives on one of the items we give him and blow him up?
It's a good idea, Alexa, but do we really want to be blowing holes in the Inquisitor ship?
Well, to be fair, I really like Alex's idea. If we want rid of him, that's the simplest method.
Okay, do we have any explosives?
We could ask about getting some for our next when we go back to the planet.
We could get him to sell us some remote explosives, and then
Not bad.
reload it for a traded item later.
Not bad. Not a bad idea. However, what if he sells us? What if he sells us some ropey explosives? This reminds me, actually, and I'm going to begin rummaging around in my pockets. I'm going to pull out the 2 gemstones that I took from Obadiah's shoe. Oh no, it wasn't from Obadiah's shoe. It was from the gang leader's shoe on the train.
It was actually a random ganger, and you had a critical success on your search roll.
Yeah.
And you found these two gemstones. I'll just bring up a little picky of these because why not?
When we first arrived on the planet, we had that little set 2 on the train. I found these on one of the chaps that we fought. I imagine they're quite valuable. I believe a certain gentleman offered me a significant amount of the local currency for one of them. Now, I wonder what old Dominic Peters would offer for both.
I think he just wants thrones, man. I don't think he gives a shit about gemstones.
Maybe. But perhaps he works in trade. We could find out without revealing what we've got. I put them back in my pocket.
You're welcome.
I say we blow them up.
Yes, but did your equipment last fail long, Dominic Peters?
As you're well aware, Arnold, you powdered my armor before we even got off the train, if you'll recall. No,
I know.
but
If I had the power to do that, my wins would have been a lot easier than what they would have been. So what I'm saying is, he sold you shit armor. So can we trust whatever he's going to sell us is going to be any good?
No, we can't. However,
Well, then you're going to lose out.
From what I understand, there are 1 or 2 rumors around the ship that he gives out shit gear to people that don't grease his palm.
No, I'm not putting my paw on his palm.
Very well, very well. It was just a suggestion. Okay.
Don't have no thrones, man. That's why my pistol blew up.
Egg, Frank. Get off me. No, Frank.
Well, in light of that little revelation, I suggest I don't really know what to do with myself.
No, Frank. No. All right. All right, come on up, man.
We could try and grease the palm, and if he crosses, then explode.
I mean,
Charles Ash is still in the vicinity. If you did want to talk to him at all, so he's still around the ship. So
I'm going to look across at Mr. Ash and say, Alexa, I am not at all against your idea of seeking revenge upon the quartermaster. In my opinion, he is a bounder and a cad and quite possibly also a lollygagger. However, one, we don't have explosives. Two, I don't know how the Inquisitor would take to us blowing parts of his ship up. However, that chap over there, old Lieutenant Ash, he's been around a little longer than the rest of us. Perhaps we could have a word with him.
And strangely enough, he looks up from the maintenance it was performing on his ship and says, "Rude of me. I forgot you're newly defrosted, aren't you? You don't know your way around the ship. Let me see if I can get you a little map or something. Well, the servitors are quite helpful, or well, most of them are." And he pulls out a data slate with a map of the ship.
Okay.
Let's have a little look. He says, "Yes, we have all the mod cons, so if there's anything that you want, just let me know. I'll do my best to help you guys. I know how it is when you're newly defrosted.
Yes.
It's also overwhelming."
It is. It's a vast vessel. It's rather confusing. I must say, when we first set off for the mission, when you flew us down to the surface, we visited the armory, the quartermaster there, Mr. Peters. Are you familiar?
Oh yes, of course everyone's familiar with that little fuck.
Yes. Well, we exchanged some of the wealth we were given by our patron with Mr. Peters for one or two items from his stock. It seemed that they may have been a little substandard.
Substandard? Is that you being diplomatic, man?
Yes, to put it quite bluntly. Yes, I am.
Yes, it's common knowledge if you don't pay the man off, he'll give you something that's worthless or perhaps even dangerous. You see the miasma, it corrupts everything, and all of our stores turn to shit eventually. So things that have
how can he get
corrupted.
away with that, man? Surely that's sabotaging the Emperor's mission.
Yeah, yes, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. You can't tell me that Lucius doesn't know about it. I don't understand. I mean, maybe he's got something on Lucius. I don't know. I mean, I can't explain it myself, but Lucius seems to turn a blind eye to him.
So, are you suggesting that, say, seeking retribution against Mr. Peters may be unwise?
I'm not quite sure. I think you'd make a lot of friends amongst the crew, myself included. I'd certainly buy you a drink if you could see that he had a nasty little accident.
Oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I would never think of doing such.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I was just thinking out loud.
Yes,
but
maybe I was.
How the Inquisitor would react, I'm not sure. I can't presume to speak for him.
Do you know anywhere where we could locate, without arousing suspicion, some kind of small explosive device? Just small enough, a very close range explosion could potentially take out somebody.
What I'd recommend, there is something of a black market upon the ship. And it's mainly so people can cut out the quartermaster, because nobody really wants to deal with him. No one wants to pay him off. Sometimes you're forced to. But there is something of a black market upon the ship.
Where would we find such a black market?
Well, there's something of an impromptu drinking establishment that is set up amongst the ship. The Crow. Head down to the mess room and see if you. I think most of the stormtroopers, well, most people know where it is. But see if you can find someone to escort you. But yeah, I mean, most of the black market trade goes on at the Crow.
Well,
the Crow. Well noted.
somewhere in another world, somebody gets an eye twitch. Well, thank you very much, Lieutenant. That's most helpful of you. A drinking establishment and a shipwide black market. Well, it sounds just like my sort of place. Shall we, gentlemen? Miss Alexa?
Sure. Let's go. Like that.
Okay, guys. So what I've done is I've put us on the map of the ship. I can also send you this into your emails if you want. And I've put into the handouts. There's like a description of what the numbers stand for. I also put the diary of Overseer Deckdray in there if you wanted to have a look at that. So where you are heading off to on the map are there are the 2 mess rooms, which are number 11, and that is where the lieutenant has suggested that you go. Currently, you're at the main shuttle bay, which is number 4. Your room is this purple square here.
Okay. So we're at number 4. Yep, I see that. Number 11 is...
There are 2 mess rooms, one on the port side and one on the starboard side.
Yeah,
but they're all manner of things available on the ship. Should you want to explore, or should you want to do, for example, any crafting. Alexa, there's a workshop here.
Oh, very good.
Which will be of better facilities than the the kind of bayou workshop that you found down on the surface.
Yeah.
But there are all sorts of things on the ship, and maybe more things that are hidden as well. So.
Cool.
Corpse dump.
Okay.
I want to go there.
Well, you're welcome to go. You need somewhere to put the corpses, do you?
Yeah, that's true. Right. So, shall we head to this the Crow?
Yeah.
I'll say you're going to need an escort, and he suggests you go to one of the mess rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you heading off? Heading off that way? You're going to go to the port side one or the starboard side?
Ooh. What do you think, guys?
Port.
Port it is.
Okay, port side it is. So you head off. As you're walking down the corridor, you see that one of the doors in front of you, one of the blast doors, and these will come down in case of fires and what have you, or borders. It's opening and closing. Opening and closing. But there doesn't seem to be anyone controlling the door controls.
I'm beginning to wonder if this ship has seen better days. When we first arrived, we believed we had maybe witnessed an airlock malfunction.
Synesians, the phenomenon.
You can certainly try.
Summer cycles, what I do.
Shit.
Yeah.
Hey, so you are confident that there is no psychic phenomena going on at this blast door. The only reading you get is from your own backpack again.
Okay.
It doesn't appear to be magic or sorcery or psionic responsible here.
I don't think it's the influence of the miasma. I think you might be right. I think the ship might have seen better day.
What's up, Dave?
I'm just chuckling at Yarn. I just find the accent amazing.
It's top quality. So. Okay, so are you not dwelling here? You carrying on?
Yeah. Didn't we see something last time as well? We see somebody.
We saw a body.
Maybe that was just an accident as well.
Yeah. What you saw was that the viewports were closed, and I think it was Arnold who thought on a whim to open the viewports. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody clocked a body floating inside the ship without a suit. It was obviously a corpse. And then further on down the corridor, you found what appeared to be an airlock malfunction. So it appeared that someone had been doing some maintenance in the airlock, and the outer door had opened, and the technician had been vented in space.
Good way to go.
It's the way I want to go. Based.
A final frontier.
No, that's not true. I take that back.
Yeah, it's not.
Take it back.
I mean, Quintius wouldn't be. I mean, he might look at a malfunctioning door and think that's odd, but that would be it.
Okay. So as you carry on down the corridor, and you're coming up towards the med bay, you see someone that you recognise walking down the corridor towards you, and it's the head doctor, Dr. Festus Bucket, and he's the guy who froze you before your journey to this area of space. And it's this gentleman here.
He's a lovely guy.
He seems quite nice, quite peaceful, and he looks distraught as he approaches you down the corridor, and he seems to be talking to himself.
Ah, good doctor. How goes it? You're not planning on jabbing us with any more needles, are you?
No, you appear to be a specimen of health. He looks you over, and the lens on his eye rotates slightly. He seems to be focusing in on you.
Good man. You too appear to be a specimen.
He says, in fact, you look healthier than when I performed my medical examination on you before. I see that the planet must be agreeing with you. Quintius, is it?
Yes. Quintius Tarquinius Thespis III.
Yes. Yes, you seem healthier to me. Perhaps it's the sunshine down there.
Really?
Wonderful for the skin.
Whatever do you mean by that? I don't like the cut of your jibe.
No, nothing. Don't you worry. I really am quite worried. You see, it's my cat.
Well done.
My cat monkey. Yes.
Cat
Kara. She's gone missing.
Oh, the cat.
And you recall when you first got frozen, there was a beast in the med bay. It's the beast that you can see in the top left of the picture.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in weeks. I'm at wit's end.
And you're sure it's still on the ship?
I don't know where it is. I mean, maybe somebody's hurt her. Maybe somebody's taken her.
Sure,
maybe she's lost. Maybe she's trapped.
Maybe she's up a tree.
I'm sure no one would harm such a delightful, affectionate, and aesthetically pleasing beast such as Kara. Tell me, my good man, where did you last see Kara?
In the med bay. She spends most of her time there with me. She wanders off, of course, hunting in the ducts.
Of course, yes.
She's got quite the appetite.
I tell you what, my good man, Dr. Festus, wasn't it?
Dr. Bucket, yes. Festus Bucket.
Festus Bucket, yes, I recall perfectly. I will try and find your cat monkey for you. Perhaps in return for such a favor, you could do me one in return.
Yes, anything within my power.
Do you have anything that belonged to the girl, Ma?
Well, there might be one of her toys back in the med bay.
Perhaps,
do you want it?
Yeah,
perhaps we can get.
Maybe
perhaps we can. My friend
that belonged to her, I can trace some kind of cyclic spore.
My friend Jan here is quite a good tracker. Yes.
I can't promise nothing, man. It's a
Shush.
shot in the
Yeah.
dark.
Jan,
Okay.
be quiet. Promise everything, deliver nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he takes you to the med bay, and he heads off into the corner and gets a few items that belong to his cat.
While he's distracted getting shit together, Alan,
Mhm.
can I have a quick look around the med bay, see what there is
Okay.
on show?
Okay, so he goes off to this corner. So hopefully you can see the map of the med bay.
Yep.
And hopefully everything is clear. Actually, the technomancer is not there. I'll just shift him out. There's a couple of mindless servitors, and a couple of nurses, and there's a couple of people in the medical beds. So when you look around, this table here where you've moved your character, is like an apothecary's table. There seems to be a number of precursors and raw ingredients that might be used in the fabrication of medicines or combat drugs. But none of it really means anything to you, because I don't believe you've got any skills in that area. But you do
No.
recognize, you kind of suspect what they're for, but you don't know the specifics of what might do what. And some of it might even be finished drugs for all you know, but some of it might be to make drugs. So you're not quite sure what is what. But it could be valuable. Stuff like this, it's probably valuable on the black market.
I'm going to sleight of hand a vial of something. The brightest coloured liquid I can see. The one that draws my eye the most.
I would like you, please, then, to make a sleight of hand roll.
Mhm.
There's no one in your immediate vicinity, so I'm going to give you a plus 30 to this. Okay, you don't need the bonus. And with a deft touch, the vial goes up your sleeve, and you're confident that no one has noticed your theft, not even your own party members.
Yep.
So nobody knows what Quintus has just done in character.
Okay.
Hey, would anyone else like to do anything while Quintus is robbing meds?
Nope. Okay.
Okay. So you wait up, and the doctor comes back to Jan with a metal bowl with some residues of meat or meat, processed meat, some kind of meat substitute, perhaps.
Re-meat.
Re-meat, the best kind.
Cheese flavoured remeat.
Yeah.
And he also hands you a mauled toy, which seems in disrepair. And he hands them over to you and goes, "Oh, please find her, please find her.
I'll
I'm
do what
beside myself with worry."
I can't promise anything.
Okay, and so if you'd like to add the items into your inventory, please.
What am I adding?
Cat bowl. You've got a cat monkey bowl and a cat monkey toy.
Re-meat sandwich.
Possibly the two greatest items to be added to anyone's inventory since we started playing Dark Heresy.
Cat
This will
monkey
play both
bowl,
easy.
what?
When fighting the demon.
Dear.
It's nearly on. In fact, it surpasses the decomposing arm of Silas Malore.
Dear, or the kind of
Turning cat monkey bowl into some kind of helmet. What was it? Cat bowl and what?
Cat monkey bowl and a cat monkey toy.
Ah, cheers. What was Salacious Crumb? He was some kind of a monkey.
He was it began with a K. I can't remember.
Wacky and monkey lizard.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
monkey lizard. Sorry, what did I miss?
Salacious Crumb, Kowalkian monkey
Jabba's
lizard.
little mate.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. Okay. So are you guys done in the med bay now?
Uh-huh.
Right. So you leave the med bay, and I'll put you back onto the map of the ship. And the med bay, I think, is number. Have a little look. It's somewhere around here. Let's have a look. So medbay is number 10.
Yeah.
So it's this one here, in the central rear of the ship.
Yep.
So it's not far now to the port side mess room. You head over there and you enter, and you're struck by how busy it is. There are lots of tables all rammed in, and there's probably about 200 crew members in the mess room. A lot of them are queuing to receive their. It looks like gruel that they're being served up. It's some kind of grey paste. And there's rows and rows of benches and chairs, and people are crammed in, and there's a real hubbub of conversation and noise.
Okay.
I'm going to queue with a ball.
You're gonna what? Sorry? You're gonna queue
Join
up?
the queue.
Okay.
Do they not have table service here? We have to bring our own foods like peasants? This is preposterous. Why, even on the planet, there was better service than this.
Okay, so are you joining? Is anyone else going for food?
I'm gonna stick with Arnold.
Yeah.
Okay. You stay together?
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Anything that's not born of that mutated fucking planet.
Yeah.
You can just sit with us.
I mean, most of you could probably do with a bite to eat. It's it's unless any of you turning your nose up at the paste.
We didn't have breakfast, did we?
Yeah.
We maybe skipped through that. You could have had breakfast if you wanted. So we kind of skipped. We're kind of rushing along a bit, weren't we? So you get yourself a bowl of paste each. There's a greasy-looking servitor whose sole purpose seems to be to dispense the food. And in each bowl, you get a viscous grey paste that looks quite unappetizing. But there is something attractive about the paste that, like Jan says, it's not from the planet itself. It's so perhaps it's cleaner somehow
Nice sample
than
it
the
for
food you get down there.
cat monkey DNA.
You want to? Okay. You think the cat monkey's been turned into gruel? Okay, so make a tech use test as you sample and run a quick scan on the paste. Alexa.
Part of investigation work there.
Wow, what a great use of a natural success.
Yeah.
So you make a complete breakdown of the food stuff, and what you get is that there is a vegetable basis to the food, but there are supplementary additives in there that kind of bulks it out. So there is some vegetable, there's some like actual real vegetables in there, but there's so much filler and additive pack to give it a high calorific value. But you're quite sure there's no cat monkey in there. In fact, you don't think there's any meat in there at all. Just a protein substitute.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
it's no rasher soup, that's for certain. Says Quintius as he spoons it into his mouth with a look of distaste on his face.
It's not unpleasant. It doesn't really taste of too much. It's quite bland, and it does fill you up, and it is giving your body stuff that it needs. But there's no pleasure really in it, apart from the pleasure that you're not eating food from the corrupted planet. So, and as you're eating, you sat down at a bench, I presume, eating your gruel. There's some. You're surrounded by crew members. Some, there's adepts, stormtroopers, general, workers and mechanics. You see all sorts of crew members here, and bridge officers. But the guy who's sitting next to you, there's a group of stormtroopers, and he looks over Alexa's harpoon cannon that's kind of strapped to her back, It's quite difficult to ignore. And he looks at it and he says, "What the bloody hell is that? Never seen a weapon like it."
I'm like, I'll just take it off my back, like, it's my harpoon cannon. Would you like to see?
Or would I?
So
He takes it off you, and the weight of it immediately makes his arms sag. But he tries to have a good look around and tries to aim it, and he's reasonably strong. He's been army trained, so so he can handle it. But the initial weight of it takes him by surprise. And where the hell did you get one of these from? It's not standard. Not standard, mate.
I made it.
All right, techie, are you?
But I have a bit of skill with the old technology.
And he offers his hand to you and says, "Rastin's the name."
Alexa, that
What was that? Sorry, you broke up.
Rastin.
Rastin.
And you see there's a few other stormtroopers with him, and you notice that a few of them are Feruvian, like Kyoshi is.
Ooh.
But this guy isn't. This guy, you're not sure where he's from, but he's not clearly Feruvian.
I was wondering if you could escort us to the, what's it called, that pub?
The Crow.
To the Crow. We're new on the ship. We don't know what we're doing or where we're going. So,
yeah, of course. Been my pleasure to escort you to Crow. You've never been. First time. I'd love to take you, Cherry. And he gives you a little wink.
I'll wink back.
Okay, make a charm test, please, Alexa.
Got charm. I'm like the charming person. Yeah. Oh, that's not too bad. It's terrible. I'm gonna use a fate point on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a fate point on charm. Oh
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, better. Okay, so he gives you a genuine smile as you reciprocate his wink, and he says, "Well, let's get this fucking gruel down as and he shovels the gruel down pretty quick. The bloody stuff. Never get used to this. I will give some proper food."
As this is happening, Quintius he's shoveling the food down his mouth, and he's not, particularly pleased. But he notices that this guy is interested in weaponry, and he sort of surreptitiously, with a little bit of a cocky swagger, because he's had a drink, draws the articulated pattern pistol and just casually places it on the table and carries on eating.
Okay, immediately gets the eye of Rastin. He goes, "Fancy."
Yes, it's a little heirloom weapon from back home, a gift from Mumsy, if you must know.
Says, "May I?"
Please, by all means.
And he has a look, and he obviously handles it a lot easier than the harpoon cannon, which he's handed back to Alexa. And he looks over.
Probably easier than Quintius does as well.
Quite possibly. And he looks over and he says, "It's a real beauty. A bit small for my taste, but yeah, real beauty to that."
What on earth are you trying to say? And I take it back a little bit angrily. It's not small at all. It's perfectly average, at least.
So you're finishing your gruel, guys. Is there anything else you want to do in the mess room before this guy will lead you off to the Crow?
I'm looking a bit pissed off now, eating my gruel with my small hands. Which is my character's quirk, by the way. He has small hands.
I've got hairy palms.
No way.
Everything's a penis joke if you try hard enough.
Watch out about.
You know what they say, small hands.
Yeah.
I don't know, small. I don't know.
Small hands.
Even smaller.
Small hands. Small hands, massive ego.
It's like Jeremy Beadham all over again. No, Beadham, Beadle. Okay, so is there anything you would like to do in the mess room while you're here?
Small hand. Oh, small hand.
He had one small hand, yes.
Quintius is cowed now by his attempt to semi-drunkenly impress the stormtroopers, and failing.
Okay, so the stormtroopers stay as a group, and there's a couple of them talking to each other. They're not talking to you directly, but you can't help but overhear. And one of them says to another, says, "Yeah, the way I heard it, the old master of coin, it's gone quite mad. The old miasma's touched him, hasn't it? And there's something dark and foreign growing in his skull. That's what I heard." And he looks like he's produced a gem of great worth. That's how he looks. And the other stormtrooper says, "No way." So you walk off. Well, unless you want to interject.
No. I'm just muttering to myself.
Yeah. So the stormtroopers escort you into the transport, like the transport shafts that go along the side of the ship on either side. And Reston, he speaks to Alexa. And he says, "Yeah, there's a lot of hidey holes, nooks and crannies in this old ship. She's all right. She'll look after you." And there's a touch of love and longing in his voice as he speaks on the ship. And he takes you into some tunnels that go along both sides of the craft. You're in the port side.
Okay.
And there are little transport pods that move along the whole length of the ship. So you've got like a fast way of getting from one end of the ship to the other.
I'm going to make some small talk with him. I'm going to say, you wouldn't have to have seen a cat monkey on your travels.
Cat monkey? I can't say I have. Don't see any animals on board the ship.
Yeah, it belongs to Dr. Festus Bucket. He's sort of lost, and he's very...
Festus? What a fucking freak.
Oh, indeed he is.
It seems to me there are a great many unusual characters aboard this vessel, my dear man Ralston.
Underneath my my hair, my gills flutter slightly.
Tell me, sir, what do you know of the quartermaster, Mr. Peters?
Peters? And he spits on the floor. What a fucking cunt.
I echo this.
He nearly cost one of my lads his life. He did. Sold him some fucking ammo. Nearly went and blew up on him, didn't he? He's burnt off his arm. Scarred him for life, I reckon.
I had a similar experience, as a matter of fact. Set of armor crumbled at the slightest touch.
Yeah, he's a fucking liability. If you want anything decent off him, you've got to pay him off.
Yeah, so I hear. I do hear there may be other means to acquire goods, and it strikes me as curious that surely our master must know of this corruption, shall we call it, within the armory. Why does he not do such a thing, do you wonder?
Straight, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, he must know. Everyone fucking knows.
Well,
there's plenty on board this ship that doesn't make sense.
We were barely on the ship 5 minutes before. What do you mean there's plenty on this ship that doesn't make sense?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is my second tour out to the Expanse. You're new here, aren't you? You'll soon get the gist. I mean, I love this ship. And he looks longingly at the side of the craft again. But, yeah, she's a little finicky, we might say. Don't want to anger her.
Finicky? Alex, is that a technical term I'm not familiar with?
Would I know that?
You know what the word finicky is? You do know what the word finicky is. And he goes, Rastin says, some say she's haunted.
Haunted?
That's what they say. Superstitious lot, though, these gunnery crew members.
No, surely a vessel of the holy establishment that we serve could not possibly be haunted.
Yeah, well, I mean, every ship's different, and every ship's different. This ship's older than most. It's not a standard template construct, is it?
No, it's not a standard complex temples. Yes, exactly. That thing you said, definitely. It's not one of those.
Certainly not.
Oh, is the vessel alien in design?
Let's have a look. So Yarn wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Nixius might know, but we're on the main character at the moment. So
Yeah.
Yarn wouldn't have a clue about this. He's too primitive to understand the subtleties of the spaceships.
I mean, Quintius is from nobility of Scintilla, but he wouldn't know either because he literally never left the planet until this moment. So
yeah. I mean, one thing you do know is that the ship looks different to the majority of Imperial Navy craft. That much you do know, even though.
I'll get a new sidekick. I imagine. So. Yeah.
Okay.
There's ways and means to get other gear. I mean, most people like to cut out the quartermaster once they learn what he's about. There's something of a little black market aboard the ship. I'm sure Lucius knows about it, but still don't spread it around. We don't want Dominic to get wind of it if we can help it.
No, of course. I completely understand.
He must suspect, though. He must suspect.
What, Quintius? Dominic or the
Dominic.
Inquisitor?
Dominic must suspect there's a black market. I'm sure Lucius is aware of it as well, but he must turn a blind eye, I think.
Strikes me as rather unusual that a man with the power and prestige, such as our collective patron, would allow such underhand behavior to just go by on his ship without doing anything about it. Do you not think?
I totally. I'm sorry, I went a bit Lieutenant Charles Ash there for a second, and he goes, I totally agree with you. It makes no sense, but like I say, a lot of the Inquisitors' decisions don't seem to make sense to me. First and foremost is why would you come out to this fucking dead end of space with that fucking rift hanging out there, polluting and poisoning everything in the area? What are we doing here?
The plenty. You referred.
I call it the miasma. That's what most of the shipbound call it.
Miasma. Sorry, I'm using the colloquial term used planetside. We've just spent a few days down there, you know.
Oh yeah, you've been down on the planet. What's it like? None of us have been down there. We don't leave a ship, not unless it's a combat mission.
But surely you people are highly skilled and highly trained.
Yeah. For combat, if there's an attack required, we'll be there. But we don't get to socialize with the natives.
Well, myself and my colleagues here, we've been sent for that precise purpose. In fact, I mean, obviously, operational security and everything I shouldn't discuss too much. I'm sure you understand. But we have...
Not you. Like, jab him in the ribs.
We have lived on the world for a few days, reconnoiter, that sort of thing. Just lay of the land. But it seems strange to me that someone of your talents and experience would not be sent down there, and a strange, mismatched group of inexperienced people such as ourselves have been sent down. Most peculiar.
All right, so you're the new batch of acolytes, right?
Yes. No. My name is.
What's your name? You've got a perfectly good name, right?
I'm just gonna have to. I amazingly flip to the right page. Danson, Patrick Danson.
And he goes, "What do you mean? You acolytes? You've had the best training that the Imperium could offer, don't you? Much more advanced than our stormtrooper training."
Yes, and I'm just going to look round at Arnie and Alexa and Jan, going.
You'd think.
Best of the best, man.
We're all trained in different ways.
Yeah, you're
one front.
the best and brightest that the Imperium has to offer. You're the natural choice to send down to the planet.
Oh God.
Yes, we are. We are so good. We are so best, so bright. It's incredible how good we are at our jobs. All of us. All of us. Yes,
Oh,
we're very good.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Uh,
So have you met the Inquisitor yet?
No.
No, me neither. But you hear all sorts of rumors, don't you?
Yeah, all sorts of rumors about the, the thing and the stuff that he. Sorry, you said this was your second tour, yes?
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I'll keep
Yeah.
going posh
And-
again for a second.
And you're yet.
Yeah, second tour. I'm
Yeah,
common
you're-
man. I don't speak posh.
Right, proper common, yeah.
Yeah, common man.
Your second tour, and you're yet to meet the Inquisitor. That seems perfectly. And I'm just going to look at Alexa as I say this. That seems perfectly normal, I'm sure.
He doesn't rub elbows with like me. I only ever speak to his interrogator, Mathis. He's a fucking sour cunt. He is. He'll chew your head off soon as look at you.
We briefly met Interrogator Mathis. Yes. Don't really know what to make of him. Yes, this whole setup strikes me as. Tell me, where have you always worked for the Inquisitor?
No. I say I've only worked for the Inquisitor for the last 2 campaigns. I was seconded from another planet. It's got a perfectly good name.
Really?
I'll tell you it later on.
Please tell me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might know of it.
But no, I served in the military on planet Chapapa 4. You must have heard of it, right?
Oddly, no.
No, you've not heard of Chapapa.
However, I have lived a somewhat sheltered life. I was born and raised on Scintilla and never left. I've Tarsus for the most part.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've heard of it.
I've spent some time on Scintilla. Spent
Really?
about half a year there. But yeah,
Really?
I mean, I've been on the ship here for the last 2 campaigns.
So tell me, when you were on Scintilla, did you ever visit Hive Tarsus?
No. It's, let's say they only let us out for R&R in the main hive. And what's the main hive called?
Hive Sibyllus.
Hive Sibyllus, yeah. We stationed in Hive Sibyllus. They let us out for an R&R, but we never got very far from the barracks. Just far enough to cut a little loose.
That is a shame, a deep shame. There's much culture to be had in Hive Tarsus. The plays, the dance halls are wonderful buildings. I digress. So anyway, and I'm just going to basically talk bollocks to him, chit-chatting with him all the way to wherever it is we're going.
Okay, I'd like you to make a charm test, please.
Okie dokie. This is what I'm here for, talking shit to stormtroopers. Is it a straight test?
A straight test, please.
1.8 degrees of success. I know it says Kyoshi, but that is off.
It's not a problem, mate. But yeah, you sense that he's warming to you, despite his best efforts. He's probably not the sort of person who hangs around with nobility, and you get the sense that he's starting to like you despite his best efforts. You know what I mean? He doesn't probably want to hang around with noble kind, and the way you talk, and he should find you quite patronizing. But he starts to like you despite himself.
I'm doing my very best to ask questions about himself, not talk
Yeah.
about myself too much, just ingratiate myself with him.
Yeah, but there's definitely a class difference between the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
So he leads you deeper and deeper into the substructure of the ship, and there's a door at the end of this corridor where he's leading you, and on the door is an engraving of a crow, and he opens the door and leads you into this bar, and that's where we shall leave it for tonight, I think.